Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop for a suit when your head...
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take, they know a boss is...
Is that a poppy seed? You realize I'm your P.O., right? Straight to booking!
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay!
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. Told him to call me.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Yeah, count it up. That's umbrella guy in the building, run it up. Yeah. 100K vanish, screenshots vanish. Trust me, bro, contracts, fine print damage. You sold fake dreams, cheap fonts, big schemes. Whole crew talking tough till the light hits the seams. How you flex chrome chains over borrowed bills? Selfie angle hiding them rusted grills. You bark big numbers, but the math don't add. You reimburse every family you scam. You can hide them platinum grills from the truth, from the can, from the real. Yeah, you can flash that metal and square, but the lies and the fraud don't kill. Yeah, that's umbrella guy. Calling names on the set, every bogus claim, every paper thread, all that tough talk, type thick caps, and still you can't fight back through the platinum grills. You said we partners, then you pick my pocket, turn friends into figures like a broken stock market. Exclusive access, it was copy paste. Whole contract smelling like panic and haste. You spam fake letters, try to scare and pray. Big law talk on the 10th for mail. You serve weak threats on the kitchen table. You're allergic to evidence, dodging labels at it. You can hide them platinum grills from the truth, from the can, from the real. Yeah, you can flex that metal and square, but the lies and the fraud gon' bill. Yeah, that's umbrella guy. Calling names on the set, every bogus claim, every paper thread, all that tough talk, tight thing caps and still you can't bite back through the platinum grills. 100K gone, screenshot saved. You gon' see every promise replayed, every I swear that you typed that day. Fold in the light, can't fake that shade. Run it back, show receipts. You a ghost when the proof hit the feed. You ain't built for the storm, just tweets. Stay umbrella guy, dragging every dirty deed. You can't hide them platinum grills from the truth, from the can, from the real. Yeah, you can flash that metal and square, but the lies and the fraud don't feel. Yeah, that's umbrella guy. Calling names on the set, every bogus claim, every paper thread, all that tough talk, type thing caps and still you can't bite back through the platinum grills.
What's up? Oh, we got a We got a special guest in a minute. When they come back to their desk. What's up, Megan? You're muted, by the way.
Why am I muted? Why did that happen? Normally it just unmutes me by default. Anyway, what's up?
I don't know. That's actually very weird to come back from the break without actually being unmuted. It's very strange.
Usually I didn't mute myself, so I don't know. StreamYard's just doing what StreamYard does. There he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna add him. I'm gonna add him in now. Here he comes. What's up?
What's up, special guest?
Yeah. I thought about being like special guest, Jeremy Hill's chair, but I was like, nah.
Hey,
Those garbage pail kids.
Somebody got a haircut. I like it.
Yeah, I got it a week ago just for court, so
looking good.
It's been nice.
High and tight. That's the way. You gotta
So you didn't go with the other way, like Megan was talking about last night.
No rat tail. Look at this, folks. No rat tail.
I had a rat tail once. I was like 5th grade. My mom about killed me. And so every time I go in, I tell them the same thing. I love less hair, so high and tight. I love long. I think it's one of the most beautiful attributes of a woman. But for me, I always tell them skin, high fade, all the way up, high and tight to where it just lays down on the top.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
good. It's perfect for court, folks. Take notes. If you're going to court, this is what you want.
Baby, I need my glasses tomorrow for court, so I look like a nerd.
That's what you need for any professional stuff, man. Yeah, that's right, man. I wear glasses for it. Hell yeah.
So you look
That's
smarter.
exactly the way to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't do that, though. I definitely don't think you should do that in court. So speaking of court, what you gonna do tomorrow? What's going on in the What the Hales land? I hear it's an important day.
It's a big day tomorrow. It's a full day from 9 to 4 in court again. This will be day 2 of 4 cases being heard in Ohio. Now, one case, well, 2 of the cases are against Lynette. 2 of the cases are against Crook for 4 cases. So one is a slew, hundreds of contempt of courts against Lynette, and then hundreds of contempt of courts against Crook, and then extension of the civil protection orders for 5 years, no firearms on Lynette, and extension of protection orders for 5 years with no firearms on Crook. So that's 4 cases being heard in total. And what will happen tomorrow is they will be calling a number of witnesses, Lynette and Crook being 2 of those witnesses, which even Sean Martin didn't put them on the stand, knowing that this is not a good idea. But they are being put on the stand tomorrow, and our lawyer can't wait. And then 2 others that Justin said that he told us in court to the magistrate that he only needed 4 witnesses for this next hearing, which Crook and Lynette are going to be on the stand for a very, very long time cross-examination. The other 2, I don't think they'll be there very long, but we'll see.
Do you know who the other 2 are?
Yeah. So while I don't want to specifically talk about what happened in court last month, which there will be a video. There will be a video released tomorrow, because tomorrow will be the conclusion of a closed case. Okay. So right now, it's still confidential. This is domestic violence. It's confidential. It's a closed case. Now, there are some serious issues with that because information's been leaked through FLISA. And so there are some issues that are going to be addressed in court with that tomorrow as well. But I can't go back and tell you specifics of court because it's a closed case. I will be able to tell you once court is over. So we've already recorded from last month. It took 2 videos to cover everything that happened in court. Wow. So I figure tomorrow is going to be probably 2 videos worth as well. And video number 1 will come out tomorrow. That was over a month ago, though. So keep that in mind. And then video 2 will drop, and then video 3 and most likely 4, and exactly what happened. So we do know the witnesses, Crook and Lynette. And then Justin stated, here's the funny thing, because Deuce was in on the back room all day last month. But then Justin said he's not going to call Deuce. And I think that's wise on his part, because I put a lot of factual information in the record already. And
interesting.
Yeah, he had no idea. He had no idea what had already happened. He had no idea what was happening in court. And he's getting baptized by fire, figuring out who these people are. So he told the judge, this is not officially, this is after the record had already been closed. So he told the judge he was going to call Lynette Crook. He was going to call Russell Meeks, Russ the Sus, for those who remember Russ the Sus, and Tina. Tina being the child, the one out of 7 who sold us the 70 acres illegally with known encroachments. Then her drunken husband came on the property, trespassed, destroyed our property, and created the finger. Then they were caught illegally hunting on our property. Oh, then they called McIntyre and tried to set us up and frame me for felony charges, stating that I stole something from my own property. That's interesting. You know, it's not going to go well for them tomorrow. I can assure you that.
So neighbor Tina, what in the world would neighbor Tina have to testify to about these things?
So
about Lynette and John.
Here's the thing that I think is so extremely foolish, and they're going to have a difficult time with. And I don't mind saying how foolish it is. They think they're going to bring in Tina the same way they're going to bring in Russ and talk about a past event that Crook and Lynette have already been found guilty for.
Oh, they're gonna find out again.
Yeah, they're
that
relitigating.
That judge is gonna be like, "We are not relitigating this case. Do
She
you have
is
anything
already
to say about the issue at hand?"
Exactly. She has already told them off for that. The defendant's side. So
wow.
We are not talking. She is clearly stated we are not talking about jurisdiction. We are not talking about how Jeremy Hales makes money. We are not talking about anything that has already been adjudicated. And if any of it comes up again, it's gone. It's done. And so she's been very, very, very vocal with the opposing side in regards.
Yeah, she doesn't like that at all. I've heard her. I've listened to her. I've listened to that hearing a couple times. The other
awesome.
Ohio hearings, and she does not want to hear about anything that's already been decided. So if they are truly going to do that, God bless. I say go for it. I love that for them.
Thank you. I mean, oh my goodness. Thank you. Now, we were given, okay, so there's all this ridiculous discussion out there about witnesses. I'm a witness. I'm going to be, yeah, you can't keep me from being a witness. All right, so let's be very, very clear. There was a witness list that was to be submitted. It was submitted. And those witnesses could not be added upon for the hearing. And they have pulled back in regards to who they were actually going to have on there as witnesses. And remember, last month, Fleesa was so adamant. I'm a witness.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
she wasn't on Zoom. She wasn't on
not
Zoom.
a witness.
But it is going to be interesting.
All this evidence. She's got all the evidence. I heard.
Just wait till you hear what Lynette and Crook's lawyer did with Fleesa's evidence in court. I mean, I'll tell you what he did. The very first, he got reprimanded. I was like, this is ridiculous. Why are we talking about this? Your client was already found guilty. Your client said that you just showed proof that he's guilty again. and I went, so he had his whole laptop up on the screen, and I went, oh, germ. I was like, you realize everything Lisa Lee gave you, they have already been found guilty of. He went, oh, and he took his laptop and went and slapped it down, and nothing ever came back up. It was hilarious.
That's amazing.
It was hilarious. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen tomorrow. It will be all day. We will drop video 1 tomorrow. Saturday will be video 2, but you're going to have to wait till next week for the exciting conclusion. So,
man, it'll be a busy weekend. That'll be crazy.
It will. And there will not be a decision tomorrow. She has already extended the civil protection orders until April 20th, 2026 upon her decision. So let's say she says, you know what, I'm not extending them. And she decides that April 1st, okay? April 1st, there's no civil protection orders any longer. Now, she's extended them till April 20th, and let's say we get a decision April 5th. And by the way, that April 1st and not extending them, that was an April Fool's joke. So April 5th, April 5th, she goes, okay, 5 years, no firearms. We're still protected up until that decision time. And
Right.
that's the most important thing. She has made sure that we are still protected. Not that Levy County Sheriff has done anything about it.
Yeah. No.
You wait till the videos about what Levy County Sheriff did in court. Oh my goodness, it's so condemning, and it's going to be so powerful in federal court. It's huge.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait for this. So we are going to be, of course, I hope that the audience too will help us out to monitor the situation tomorrow in the ecosystem, because I have a feeling they won't be able to help themselves and we'll do more of that leaking that they did last time. So we're going to need all of your eyes everywhere.
There's going to be a hearing about that.
Yeah, I do too. I'm sure they're going to do it again. And if they don't, it'll be the first wise move they've ever made.
Well, even what they released is so funny, because they're not talking about reality of what's happening in the courtroom. And again, I'll share this. I have shared this in the past. I'll remind everybody, this is off the record. So we're not in court time as I'm sharing this. Okay. So the magistrate, Judge O'Connor has already said she's a magistrate in this capacity. Like Belito's a judge, but he's a magistrate. So So O'Connor says, all right, we're off the record. And then, all right, let's look at dates. We're gonna, so you heard me talking about dates, or excuse me, about witnesses, and that's where Justin said, well, I'm only going to bring these 4 people on, and we can do it in this time frame. This is all off the record. And afterwards, Justin leans over and he grabs my hand to shake my hand. He goes, you got yourself a hell of a lawyer, Jeremy. He got destroyed. Utterly destroyed.
Well, dude couldn't have known what he was stepping.
He had no idea what he's walking into, and they set him up for failure. I mean, could you imagine him being on the other end, getting all this garbage from Lisa, and then going into court and getting his rear end handed to him by the judge because he's doing this, thinking that this is the direction. He had no idea.
Well, it's a difficult and scary situation to be a lawyer, walking into something you haven't thoroughly researched. We actually have evidence of that in another case. A lawyer in the Laura Owens case, her lawyer has been charged by the bar for doing that exact thing, walking into a case, not doing his due diligence, and then participating in fraud on the court. So it gets even worse. If you don't research your case and you do participate in handing false evidence, telling false narratives, you can face serious consequences as a lawyer. And David Jingris is facing that now in Arizona. And I said it was going to happen. I said that. I'm like, he's going to end up paying for this.
It's got some frightening parallels to everything going on with you as well. It does. I mean, when we look through, so I read through that document, Megan sent it over today, and I was like, oh my God, like some of these are eerily similar to certain lawyers that you have against you.
You guys are really good at predicting the future, just like you predicted that would happen. Give me your predictions for tomorrow.
Okay, so there's a couple different ways it could go. Yeah. The chat just brought up, what if they don't show up? They're just going to not show up. It'll be continued again, and Jeremy will have to pay more money. No, if they don't show up tomorrow, it will go forward without them, which means they won't be there to speak for themselves, which means they lose automatically. It'll be like a default. Okay, so if they don't show up, that's great for Jeremy. If they don't show up,
they'll be there.
But they'll be there. They'll be there on Zoom. They'll probably be misbehaving again. My prediction is that out of the hundreds of instances that you've found that seem to violate that order, I think they're going to be found guilty of at least a couple of them. At least that's what I think, if not more than that. That's my prediction.
There's just so much of it. And they've already been found guilty. They've been found guilty of violations. So, I mean, that knocks out so many of the witnesses that they wanted to count on, the ones they're like, yeah, we got these people. Well, I mean, Levy County, unfortunately, they disagree with the court about that anyway.
Yeah, Levy County disagreeing with the Ohio judge is probably not going to go over well with the judge. I don't think she's going to appreciate that.
I mean, it's an admission that they won't enforce her order.
When when Beecham was testifying, even their lawyer Justin, he was in complete and total disbelief, and
Oh,
you
no.
should have saw the judge's face. Oh my goodness, it was insane. So
Yeah, I got to change my avatar to my court prognosticator hat. There we go. Now I'm looking into the future. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't know. I think this judge is not going to put up with any crap. That's what I think.
what do you think, Tug?
Oh yeah, I think you have enough. I mean, hell, they're still violating.
They're still doing it.
You know, well, we were talking about some of their statements about permits and stuff like that. Well, yeah, along with that, they talk about you every time 2L and the gang are on live. They're in the chats talking about you. So they're violating to this day. I mean, they themselves, it isn't some third party violation. It's them themselves violating. So yeah, I figure when they get on the stand, it will probably be an absolute shit show. That will be really fun to hear about. I think I will be thoroughly.
I don't know if you told your lawyer this, Jeremy, but John Cook is a new administrator of a new.
Oh, he has all of that. He has all of that,
page.
and he can't wait. Yep.
Yeah, I hope he shows the judge that this man has continued to take part in defaming Facebook pages about you. A person that he has been ordered to not contact, to not post on social media,
to not talk about. Yep.
I mean, it's outrageous. And yet he's an administrator of a brand new anti-Jeremy Hale's Facebook page. The very thing he was told not to do.
He's doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see it going well for them.
Let me give you my prediction, okay?
Okay.
Every single contempt charge we have brought to the court thus far that has been adjudicated on, they have been found guilty. There is not one single charge that they have not been found guilty on. So 100%, we're batting 100%. That's pretty incredible. So here's what I think happens tomorrow. They are found guilty of massive contempt charges. I believe that the judge is going to adjudicate that they have to do jail time, and they will have to self-check in jail in Levy County, which is going to be really interesting to see if Levy County actually enforces this. This is what I truly believe is going to happen.
She can send them to jail in Florida?
Yes.
Yep. So they wouldn't have to go to Ohio to get to go to jail?
They would self-check in
oh wow
in county. This is what I believe is going to happen.
That's interesting.
I believe it is going to be extended.
I actually think it'll be extended, and I think they'll lose their access to their weapons, but I do not think she's going to order jail time. I don't. I would like to see that happen, but if I thought she was going to order jail time, she would have called an in-person hearing. She would have made them come off of Zoom.
Well, we'll see what they do for themselves when they testify. They could bungle it up bad enough that anything that had been planned, it's out the window. So, if anybody, I have faith in them. You know, if anybody can make this worse, they can.
I am very proud of them. I am very proud of them. They seem to be able to make it worse for themselves every single time.
They're amazing.
I don't discount the possibility they could make themselves have to go to jail. But I think judges will signal to you when they want jail time when they tell everybody to be in person. So far, she hasn't done that.
You are correct.
She should because, and I'm a little annoyed she hasn't, because they have done things like not turn on their cameras, not be able to get on the Zoom, cause up, and disturbances with the kid, and all the other things that they always do that we've always seen them do. So I'm a little annoyed she hasn't ordered them to be there in person. But what are you going to do? I mean, it's a situation. We'll see though. Maybe you're right. That would be great. If you are right, Jeremy, I will throw a party. Like I will do. We'll have a party on stream.
I think that's where it's going to go. But I also base that information off of counsel and
sure.
And so
I think they deserve it. Don't get me wrong. I think that's what should happen. It's just with the streak you've been on with these judges, they seem to, and I think most judges do this, they err on the side of caution, and especially when you're dealing with indigent people where they give chance after chance after chance. I mean, have they made them pay the contempt charges they owe you yet? No. See, that again, that's another thing I hope he's going to bring up. They were held in contempt and have not paid it. And the judge has not forced them to pay it. Now, I like her more than I like any judge in this whole mess. She's my favorite one. So I'm not trying to disparage her in any way. I think the magistrate in Ohio is really great. And I would be happy to be in front of her. I think she's pretty fair. But again, it's just
really is. And to be fair, she put me in my place again.
Yeah.
So in court, again, she put me in my place. She is very fair on both sides. And I get out of line as well.
She's tough, but see, that's unbiased judge. A judge who's hard on everybody is not biased.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Or you want a judge who's soft on everybody, but you don't want a judge who's soft on one side and hard on the other. That's not fair. But if you're going to have a nasty judge, at least, be nasty to both sides. Yep. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it's going to be all day?
It'll be all day. Any other questions? Any other questions before I go?
I don't think I have any. Do you have any, Todd?
No, I think we'll get a lot of clarity tomorrow. It will start tomorrow, because any questions I'm trying to not border into, like you said, again, you can only talk about certain things.
Right.
So I'm trying to keep it closer to the vest with that. How are you guys feeling about this? Are you guys doing okay? I think that's a fair question.
We've been home at Hale's headquarters for a couple days. So I know people who have watched our video today where we found gold in a Bible safe.
I saw that.
Thinking, by the way, the gold doesn't end. And today, you were ecstatic today. We bought a storage unit today in Cleveland for $400. It's a former Cleveland Browns players. We got signed. We have signed helmets here, all of his jerseys.
Oh, that's awesome.
18 karat gold jewelry. Oh my goodness, brand new person. It was wild. It was wild. So we're kind of glad to be home. It's beautiful. God has blessed us, and we appreciate our neighbors and our neighborhood. And we had a great day today, treasure hunting. Tomorrow we will take Advil as soon as we wake up and have it by our side all day. So
try to get some good sleep.
We will.
And take a lot of deep breaths. I know it's really hard for you guys. I know it's really stressful. I mean, we laugh and joke a lot, but I know that this is a tough time. And I just really pray that you guys are protected by this and that finally something good will happen as far as your protection. Because that's the thing that worries me the most. We tell a lot of jokes, but I do not like the idea of you guys even being in Otter Creek. I don't think it's safe. I think it's unsafe. And I hope that the judge understands that. How unsafe it is. It's hard to separate the online person right from the private person. You have a character that you do online. You have a persona. You're always on and you're always positive and happy, but that's not really what it's like when the cameras are turned off. You can't keep that going all the time.
Yeah.
That's why when they say things like he's not scared, he's not, well, how would you know? You don't see him in those moments. You don't see George in the moments when she's not on camera. You don't know.
And I've had multiple panic attacks in court in Ohio with them not there. They're on Zoom. And I've had to ask for a recess for a panic attack. So this is, everybody shows fear and everybody shows emotions differently. And so this last hearing that we were in, I didn't have any panic attacks. Actually, I felt pretty positive.
Good.
I mean, it was just incredible. And Eli was just on fire. So hopefully no panic attacks tomorrow. And we won't even be taking the stand. I mean, we'll just be taking notes the entire time with everything that's happening. But we're doing good right now. Tomorrow will be a completely and totally different story. We will have headaches. We even hear Lynette's voice and we immediately cringe. We get headaches. And so it is emotional. We don't wish it on anybody. We can't even fathom how it even happened. And it has caused us to really draw in and tighten our circles and to very, very, very limited people. And we wish that those walls weren't there. You want to go back to the innocence and where there aren't walls. But they're learning processes as well. And I think overall, I mean, tomorrow is, there's no doubt they're going to be found guilty again. And I have no doubt civil protection orders are going to be moving forward. And
I think so too. I think so too. And everybody in the chat, I know everybody is praying for you. Make sure, guys, that you're praying for him all day. Pray for Jeremy, pray for George. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers, because it's going to be a rough day tomorrow, but hopefully a really good one.
Yeah, it'll be challenging. It'll be good. The only relief we have found in any of these situations is in Ohio. And as Justin could probably tell the what the hales ecosystems, there will be more relief coming in the Ohio courts, and he's well aware of it. I'm not sure if he's told any of them yet, because it was discussed in court, but not a single one of them has said anything yet. So interesting.
All right. Well, we will touch base with you when you're finished, hopefully, and everybody will get to see at least the videos from last time. Oh, will you be releasing those videos from last time before the judge makes a ruling, or are you waiting until the judge makes a ruling?
So when court is over, and so then when court is closed, then we're going to release those. The judge could make a ruling up to April 20th. And even if Judge O'Connor decides, she could extend it and say, well, I haven't made my ruling yet. I'm going to extend it to June or July until I make the ruling. So it's going to be released on Friday. The video one will be released. Unless for some odd reason there's a continuance, then who knows? But I don't foresee that happening. Yeah. So,
well, let's hope not, because I'm getting anxious to see those videos. I want us to.
I don't think that'll happen. I think that you've got plenty to make a decision on. It's pretty cut and dry. Again, I've never seen anything though where liability wise, but I've never seen like police allow any of their officers to go into a foreign jurisdiction.
Me either.
I mean, the liability component.
It's crazy.
Alone, I mean,
and it's all going to be used against them in federal court.
We were talking about that. We were trying to find something where that's happened before. We were looking at, trying to remember cases, because we've covered a lot of different cases.
I've never seen it. Never seen it.
Never.
Rhea says she misses the puppet show. I do too. Is there a chance that these hearings that you're going to get the audio at some point so we can have another puppet show?
Oh God, that'd be amazing.
We asked Eli to ensure that it was going to be audio recorded, and he didn't. He went, well, the court reporter's right there. When we need the transcripts, we'll get the transcripts. So we don't know yet if they are being audio recorded. I sure hope they are. And
but you'll have transcripts. That's the next best thing.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, we're going to get the transcripts.
You know what we could do? We could still do a puppet show with reading while we read the transcripts.
Oh my goodness! The main reason for the transcripts, which I'm sure tomorrow we're going to have hilarious reasons anyway with Lynette and Crook. So, but man, Corporal McIntyre, and Beecham, who we call Butt Chump. Beecham is, oh my goodness, the undersheriff. You are going to lose it when you see their examination. Eli destroyed.
I can't wait. And I promise you this, because I got my transmission fixed. When you get the transcripts, I will drive to Ohio and I will do the puppet show transcript reading with you. I will do it. I will get in the car. I will drive to Ohio and we will do it.
We'll make a puppet stage and everything.
It'll be so fun.
We should just start ordering the Muppets and we'll do a puppet show.
Like a sock puppet. Yes.
That'd be amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really good at making sock puppets. I can make some sock puppets. It'll be hilarious.
It'd be so funny. Oh my goodness. All right. You guys have a good night. Appreciate all your support. Appreciate all your prayers. And we'll start tomorrow, 5:30, letting everybody know what's happened these past 2 months in court. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Look forward
Thanks,
to it.
Jeremy.
Yeah. See you guys.
Oh, that's something.
Man. What craziness, man. I mean, this whole thing has been which is absolutely insane to watch. When I say they are violating, by the way, I mean certain people screenshot everything that goes on in those chats, and by now Lynette Preston has become so comfortable, and John Cook have become so comfortable talking about Jeremy Hales and making some of the most insane statements I have ever seen. I mean, they continue to do it, that it's absolutely unreal. You would think that when you're paused between hearings, you would not do that. You wouldn't violate.
Oh my God, you would think, but they ramp it up every time. It's like they don't have an off switch, like they don't have a stop.
They feel that nothing will
common
happen
sense.
to them. Nothing major will ever happen to them, and because I mean, again, they've been hit with some penalties here and there, but they don't feel like jail or anything is real. Even I mean, look at Levy County. When Levy County is patting you on the back and telling you it's okay, you can do whatever you want.
Well, and also, I mean, think about the message they've been given. And this is my one criticism of the Ohio magistrate, although it's a small criticism because I really like her. I do tend to like her. But imagine how empowered they are when they get hit with a $50 contempt charge. They don't pay it. It's been like a year. They've never paid it. $50 and nothing happens. So they get another contempt charge. Now they owe $1,100. They still haven't paid it and nothing happens. What do you think they're going to do when nothing happens? And it's not necessarily the magistrate's fault. It's the way the court system is set up, right?
Yeah.
How do you even collect on it? How do you even collect on it? You know how you have to collect on those things? For real. Now Jeremy would have to take on the expense. I found this out during the Laura Owens case when, Clayton was given the attorney's fees, right? $200,000 or something. In order to collect on that, it's not up to the court. The court's not going to collect it. You have to go pay the sheriff to deliver not like a summons, but it's basically like a claim on whatever the thing is. If it's not money, you're saying, okay, well, we're going to repossess your lawnmower because you owe this money. And the plaintiff has to do it. They have to pay for that to chase down that judgment. So, get a lien, but you have to get a lawyer to get a lien. I mean, it's all on the victim, which is not okay. And that is the way the system is set up. It's not the magistrate's fault. It's just the way our system is. And it sucks.
Well, the penalties for violation are so lax in their own way anyway, and again, they feel that they feel very bolstered and entitled.
Right.
They do. When Lynette Preston can sit over in a chat and, make statements about how this all started when Hale's first laid, or she says he, when they're talking about him, first laid eyes on my child, it's what kind, the insinuations in something like that people take away. And on top of that, I mean, again, she's talking directly about him still. It's again, to this day, never stopped. Like every time they have it's amazing because people sit out there and they screenshot it all. And props to them, by the way. I'm glad that people do screenshot all of those, and meanwhile, they sit around and play the victim, they do stuff like, well, I mean, here, like, this is talking about Hales,
Yeah.
It's all about him. The man's only purpose in life is to harass us. That's it. He doesn't live in Otter Creek. He has nothing to do with Otter Creek except tube tape. And you'd think that'd be about Travis, but that wasn't about Travis. It was actually about, it's nuts. It is absolutely freaking nuts.
It is.
God, some of this other stuff too. And, they bring up, they lie about everything. They still try to relitigate. I mean, shit, I've never, ever asked for money or merch, nor did I ever follow him. Yeah. Leapfrog say what?
I'm sorry. I saw the Facebook post where she said, give me $60,000 so I can
Yeah.
buy off John
Yeah.
Cook.
Yeah.
She wanted 60 grand from him in order to leave him alone.
Well, they're
Where I'm
retelling.
sitting, that sure looks like extortion.
Oh yeah, that it amazes me.
And
for
then
somebody
she
to
also
sit around.
admitted to the blue tablets. She admitted to asking for different things. Sorry, thank you, Chad. It was $65,000. Don't
And she
want
also
to
wanted
cheapen it.
That's true. She also wanted them to promote her turtle rescue.
Right.
That's, a huge thing in her quote unquote blessing box, you know. Which I I don't want to ever hear about her blessing box. That sounds very awful. You know?
No, I'm
That
gonna
sounds like a place where horrors reside.
Phrasing.
yeah, phrasing.
Exactly.
Don't talk about your blessing box. Especially not
bunch.
Lynette's blessing box. I don't want to know.
Nor did I ever follow him here. I got along just fine with them until the incident where she said I should give my baby up for adoption. I thought that supposedly happened the first incident where they had with the tractor. What wasn't it?
She asked him she started out the relationship asking for help from him.
So, but I thought she said that the adoption statement or something with the kid statement started right off the bat. So for her saying it all started out fine, wait a minute. I thought she said it went south right from go, you know. I thought that was the newest narrative. I can't keep up with the narratives in this, but I'm constantly amazed. Like I said, these are all about Hales. That's the kicker with this. Like they just never stop. They talk about him. They talk about how, you know, he does this or he does and it gets other parties involved too. You know, it gets all these crazy people that are just out there in the ether freaking involved. Check this out, by the way. I want to mention something. You know, we talk about YouTube and its weirdness. So look at this. All right. I would love YouTube to explain this to me. All right. How in the world do I have 2,913 people watching and only 2,789 views? This is their live counter.
What?
Yeah, that's their live counter. So how does that work?
Today?
It's not catching. It doesn't catch up. Yeah, it's right now. This is us right now. Well, it was earlier while Jeremy was on. Yeah. So, I mean, it never catches. Look, like when it's raising, it's always about 100 off. And, you know, that's just.
That's weird.
Yeah. It doesn't credit. That's what I mean. Like where they're new. And that's not a problem they used to have. So I was watching it live doing that. I was like, wait a minute. Oh man, you know, it's sad today too. I didn't go outside today. Isn't that weird?
You didn't go outside again?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. So it's true. You don't leave your house.
I know, man. I know. I didn't leave my house today. It's crazy, you know. Next thing you know, somebody will get a bill for a few $1,000 of video of nothing, you know. It's amazing. Yeah, by the way, that thing you were talking about, the group there, yeah, there it is, plain in black and white. They can put together, like, again, you can tell this is a paint chip thing, which he's directly involved in. See, this works for the Belethos stuff too, because remember when the eggplant thing was brought up and they were like, no, that's all paint chips. Like, you know, that wasn't done by Bruce. That was done by just paint chips. No big deal. None of us, we're not connected to that. That's a journalist over there that put in an emoji. We're not responsible. Well, that picture there, it had the eggplants. It has the alligator, which you know what's supposed to mean with that. And it has John Cook. So fun times, huh? Fun times.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Very dumb move with that. You know, very dumb move to say that you're spying on a dude and kind of just admitting to the ugliness of it all. I'm amazed by it. I think
the worst thing they've done. Well, actually, it's hard to pick. But let me say the worst, newest thing. Mm-hmm. Let's put it that way. I think the worst thing they've done is give access to their security cameras and allow third parties to stalk him live on the air when he returns to Florida, when he comes and goes. That to me is so outrageous for someone who has a no stalking order on these people. I'm a little upset that the judge actually let it go on this long, like that let them wait this long to get any relief from that. Because that is, to me,
Yeah, when you turn over that to a third party, there is no excuse for it. They start playing it live. I'm disgusted that Levy County did nothing about that, because there's no excuse for it. How do you excuse that in any way, shape, or form? What point could that possibly have where, again, party with the protection order against them, they not only film, but then they turn it over, because this is their narrative. I'm going with their narrative. They say that she doesn't have access or anything else to the cameras. Cool. That means they're turning it over. I like that narrative. It plays better in court anyway. So, so they're turning it over. They play it online with the intent to harass and defame. They allege all kinds of crazy bullshit that's not on there. Like, remember they were saying, "Oh, look at the cars. Look, they're swerving over." And when you look at it, you're like, "No, that's a fisheye issue." It's not
crazy.
Yeah, there's no swerving. But I mean, you even see, look, now she's here. This is her other part of it. The reason that he hates me is because of that other stuff, my baby, and because I ran for a seat and embarrassed him in town hall because he was wrong in what he said about locks on hydrants. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sure hydrants are the issue, right?
Yeah.
These people are, I mean, they are obsessed, man. But they say
that's the thing that's so disturbing about it, is the obsession. Like, they just can't let it go. No matter what, they cannot let it go. They can't just live their lives. They must involve themselves in Jeremy's life continually. It never ends. And that's scary to me, because all of this just points to escalation.
Oh yeah, well, we've seen escalation again. When I think what happened with Travis is a scary item. It's not some side note, because again, they, like you said, they swatted someone. They called in something that they obviously, in their own narrative, they have a person that is there. They can see what they're right down the road. Travis and the minor they are out in the road, like right on the edge of it. And you can see them. They're live. They're tossing fireworks. I mean, it's very easy to see. They end up calling in a fake call where they stick to it, by the way. They stick to the idea even when the police get there. Oh, I saw him with my cameras and he had a pew-pew. So they stick to this lie. And that could have gone so bad. It's unreal. But they say, it's Hale's. He wants more content. One of the things that Lynette told Tina, this is her statement, by the way. She stated that Bruce was asking Lynette Preston to give 2L and them more content, more statements, to patch things up anyway, which is funny how that's gone, isn't it? Because their show is dying. They had nothing left and they were getting desperate. That's what Lynette said. And
oh my God.
Yeah.
Really?
She told Tina that Bruce was telling Lynette, according to Lynette, that she had to that she needed to help them out or do this or that because their show is dying.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So who's doing it for content?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And Lynette was like, "It's a cold day in hell before I do." Now, of course.
Well, it seems to me like the whole fireworks thing, the calling on Travis about gunfire was about content for them. None of that, by the way, would have happened. It wouldn't have been a topic of conversation. There would have been no 911 call if they hadn't done any of that. So who's doing these things to create content? It's that Jeremy didn't make her call the cops and lie about fireworks.
These kind of statements right here, like this. I mentioned this before, but think about how you can also take this statement here. It started because they, meaning Jeremy and George, set eyes on my child.
So weird. Such a weird thing to say.
That's creepy, man, to throw out there.
So creepy.
Well, it also, to me, that bolsters the argument that they say these things about them. They don't want to say the exact words. They try to avoid the specific words, but you can tell what they mean. They mean some pretty awful things. Because what else can you mean with that? Well, it's not very hidden. It's funny too. Like they had started. This was my favorite, by the way. The gang thing. I told you about this the other day, but I didn't have the screenshot for it. gang is oh my god. There's
your favorite phrase. Gang.
Look at this. Gang is a saying used to communicate community. In other words, identify other conspirators.
Great. Take it up with Guapo because he's the one that said it.
Yep. When he was asking somebody.
Us making fun of Guapo, trying to talk somebody into slashing Jeremy's tires is not conspiracy, but it's calling people to slash Jeremy's tires. That seems like a conspiracy to commit a crime to me.
Yeah, they were like, well, that's not actually a bad thing. That wasn't a conspiracy. That was something else. It was a joke. It was this, or it was a setup, or whatever. But using the words gang, I think it should be outlawed personally. I'm kind of with outlawing gang, but I to each their own, I suppose. They were also saying that it conveyed criminality and other stuff, and I thought that's hilarious because they're talking about Guapo and they don't really realize it. It was amazing because they were, like I said, they were attacking freaking Guapo and they didn't even know it. Oh, it's so dumb. Man, I finally decided I would go through some of I told you I would look through the transcript of that Tuesday show, and I made it part of the way through it. I was like, man, I can't do this whole thing. But I did find something really funny that gave me a pretty good chuckle, So give me a minute here. Now, with their narratives, they always like to say they don't know anything about it. They never watch us, right? And,
right. That's what they say. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So on, let me see. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to find here because I love this. This is kind of funny when they screw up and they give themselves away that they really are watching. So they were talking about the Only Me stuff, right? They were talking about how Only Me had popped up and, was making his threats, but they had no idea, he did this, he popped up. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even watch, so I don't watch it to verify. I don't know anything about that. Well, interestingly, as the show goes on, this subject comes back up. I'm finding my times now. Give me a minute. And when it comes back up, she starts going very in depth about the discussion there. And it's kind of funny because when she's talking about it, she's like, wait, that's what Tammy told me anyway. Check this. So it's in the same stream. It's like 29 minutes later. Okay. Found this. And I thought that's really funny because if you don't know anything about it at all, how do you narrate it? Because it went from, I don't know anything, I can't tell you anything about it at all, to no discussion in the live stream to I'm going to tell you about it. Because it went from that to, oh yeah, Only Me, and this is the facts. I went in, make sure again, they're speaking. And Tug claims Only Me said there's a private investigator watching. They're going through all of this.
Wait, I like that they're complaining that I said he has to pay $50 to get my attention.
Yeah.
The price just went up to $75.
They were whining about birthdays too, about the birthdays for Tammy. I thought that was pretty good as well. So here, this is Jay getting under their skin, and the rest of us, with that. So you can see this right here. And you just want to say they were grifting for my birthday today. So all the super chats coming in were like, "Happy birthday to Tammy!" Wow, that's amazing. Amazing how they can't generate income of their own. And then Coop says, "Well, I'll make sure that Tammy gets absolutely none of this."
That's the way it's done, Mr. Coop. You're learning how to grift with the best of us. Yep.
It's so funny. Yes, if you would like to wish them
by the
happy
way,
birthday, by the way,
if you would like to wish Tammy a happy birthday and make sure she gets none of it, send ye old super chats right over here to Tug.
It was funny. They apparently got mad because, Jay had talked about how we weren't getting spoken about. So we were laughing about that. And apparently we got written off. They were like, "No, we talk about them. They're the kings and queens of what they call us. The king and queen of bullshit, or the understudies, because the other guy, he's the king of bullshit."
Oh my God. Oh, so we're back in season 7? We're back?
I guess we're back.
Oh, I was worried I was going to lose my SAG card, That's good. That's good.
So
that's great.
I
still have a job.
There it is. All disappointed because I haven't really been talking about her and Tug. Well, I'm like, all right, here you go. Actually, do mention you guys with all the bullshit. Because you guys are king and queen of bullshit, or at least the understudies.
Well, which one is it? The king and queen or the understudies? It can't be both. Oh, look, whoever this is says, king and queen.
I mean,
good. You're right.
Sued. You're getting
we are
sued.
The king and queen. That's right.
Everybody's getting sued still,
Oh, look, we're still relevant. Thank God. Thank God, guys. We're still relevant.
Yeah, make sure to super chat. This is an amazing day for us. We still have relevancy. So, yes, if you'd like to celebrate with us, celebrate our relevancy, make sure you get in there. Hashtag our relevancy and birthdays, too, of course. Tammy, who loves to have her birthday celebrated where they don't get any money.
Yes, of course. Well, we have to show her how it's done. If
Happy
you want to get money.
To Tammy.
Ooh, we should play her a song.
I did that the other day because people were going in because and I played it what was funny is I played it just like it was somebody in the chat that was requesting regular. So I just played it straight because one of the mods wrote, they were like, they're talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I know what they're talking about. I'm playing it just straight on the cuff it's real because apparently according to the FAT that's the new mod squatter. That's the person that she has to get to watch our shows.
Yeah.
Go out there and watch them and you'll get absolutely nothing back, and one day I'll turn on you. What a
exactly
bargain. Oh, it's amazing stuff, isn't it?
Yep, it's pretty good.
I'm impressed by it. I'm actually good. I've been, like I said, I went through part of that. Will I go through the rest? I don't know. It was interesting, I was looking at the numbers, and boy, they need a story. They need something real bad because they're starting to hurt. Their last stream, it didn't go well for them.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's just terrible news. I hate to hear that.
Yep. Well, they're having their downswing, and
Well, that's because they wrote us out of season 7.
Yeah,
that was a mistake.
Yep.
You gotta rely on the old faithful. You gotta talk about that Megan Fox bitch. You gotta do that more often. You gotta lose your shit on me, and then you get all the views. But you can't write me out of the season, because if you write me out, nobody tunes in. That's just how it goes. I bring the numbers, baby.
It's funny too, that certain somebody, only me, managed to get himself talked about by them again. So being a jackass, they started talking shit about him again. That amazes me. I'm like, well, a good one there, buddy. Really amazing one on your part there. I thought today too. So that news with Laura Owens is absolutely insane.
Oh, and it's crazy. You've missed it. Jingris has been blogging again. It is. He just compared the bar charges against him to the atrocities on Epstein Island.
Oh my God!
I'm not even.
Did
kidding.
you know that Robbie actually compared Hale's live, by the way, to one of the frequenters of Epstein? He said that live.
On.
Yeah, he said that live. I was like, "Are you fucking?" There have been lawsuits lost over that right there. You've had
That's sick.
You've had people sued over that specific thing. So it's amazing that the go-to is, it always has something to do with that monster. I'm pulling up that freaking document. I find it very relevant in this case. It's kind of amazing because the complaint, when you look at the lawyer bullshit that has happened in this case and you compare it to the bullshit that has happened that has gotten these folks charged, it's kind of wild. And it's kind of wild when you think, well, he didn't do his due diligence, and therefore, and then you look at every lawyer that has come into this mess. Are they doing due diligence? Honestly, do you see these antis? They'll walk in, they will.
No,
they'll allege a lot of crazy shit.
They have. I don't think they have done their due. And it's really interesting. This document, the charges against Jingris. I was not expecting that. That I did not know. We knew what some of the complaints against him were. From people who complained, like the witness intimidation of Mike Maricini and the way he treated the judge, the disparaging statements about the judge. We did not know that the bar had all this inside information, including emails between David Jingris and other people that showed he knew, including between him and Laura, that showed he knew things were false that she said on the stand.
Yeah. See, that's amazing to find out that he knew, and he did not recuse himself, so he's been out there and he's, again, when you find that out, you have to notify the court. Yeah.
Just like Corey Keith did. Corey Keith was her attorney before him. Corey Keith had to file a notice of fraud upon the court. And he did. He filed a notice of candor. It's called a notice of candor.
And you see why it exists now.
And he said to the judge, while I was representing Ms. Owens, I represented to the court that she had never lied in this case. I now have to withdraw that statement because I know that it to be false. I believed it at the time. So it's basically like covering your ass as an attorney. Being like, I did believe that. When I said it, I thought I was being honest. I found out afterwards it wasn't honest. So I have to tell you. David Jingris did nothing of the kind.
Like I said, I see
and by the way,
similarities in this mess.
By the way, it's not mentioned in here, but I know for a fact because I believe this happened. I can't say I know for a fact. All right, never mind. I'm not going to say it, but I do believe there was some stuff that happened between him and Corey Keith regarding that notice of candor that I wonder if they have the evidence on, which is interesting. Let's just say he may have tried to persuade Corey Keith to not file that. And if they have that in writing, oh my God. Oh my God.
That is all of this is freaking insane. All of it. Because I never expected to see something like this roll in. 51 pages going after the man,
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. When you start going through it.
Look at number 2. Just read number 2.
Yeah. After being hired by Owens, respondent became aware, based on his investigation and research, that she had made contradictory statements about her action and had altered at least one medical record. Like this part right here, like again, you think about the case with Hales and you think about Lynette Pratt. Her stories change.
Her stories change all the time.
Yep. And the attorney has to know that. They absolutely have to know that. And yet that hasn't mattered. That hasn't mattered in the least. See, this took a long time to get rolling the way it did. And unfortunately for Laura Owens, and very fortunately for Clayton Eckert, there was a brick wall that you would run into eventually. It was the fact that those lies, they could be medically disproven. And fortunately, she didn't just lie, but she went out of her way and she took medical records, she fabricated items, she altered others, and that's what really got her caught. Because just saying, I mean, if she would have been less sloppy, like, that's the scary part about this. There are people out there that probably do the same thing, but they're smarter than Laura Owens.
Look at number 3. This is unbelievable. Despite being aware that Owens had given contradictory versions of events and altered at least one medical record, respondent Jingris, the lawyer, failed to withdraw as counsel for Owens, or alternatively failed to diligently investigate and research relevant facts, pursued claims that were without merit, prepared an affidavit for Owens to sign that included false information, failed to take steps to address false statements that Owens made during her deposition in 2 hearings, and presented Owens' false testimony to the court. Holy shit. You guys, here's another thing that he did. We told him about number 4, by the way. Number 4, we told him when he did it. Oh my God, dude, you just violated a court order. During the period of representation, respondent failed to comply with a court order directing him not to disclose, outside of counsel for the parties, any medical or other documentation, medical records, etc., disclosed between the parties. Now, get this. His excuse for doing it was, well, they're Laura's medical records. If she says I can, I can't. Oh, dude, the judge told you not to.
This right here, again, when we talk about federal witnesses and witness intimidation. See, this is how certain things, like with Shara, with these people, I mean, they are fucking physically threatening her in some instances. It was
and Bruce wants to say that he's never intimidated her or whatever, and she's literally on the stand saying, I feel intimidated by him.
Yeah, and these people in the aftermath, I mean, look at what all of them were doing and trying to do. And here, I mean, we saw this this was crazy to watch with Mike Mancini. He's coming in, he's going to potentially
emails saying, if you show up, you'll be arrested.
And then he tried to get the cops to do it.
To be there. And yeah, he tried to get the cops even after being told by court security that he could be there. The judge ordered that he could be there. This guy then calls 911 and tries to have him arrested.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's amazing to see when they talk about, like in the Hale's case, when they talk about weaponization of a protective order. This is weaponization of a protective order right here. This is what it looks like. The quote unquote weaponization of a protective order. If Hales were trying to weaponize a protective order, he knows the schedule for things like the flea market. And I mean, he could have just shown up there. And if he shows up there, unfortunately for them,
how about
it doesn't
the
matter.
Ace Hardware thing? He instead of going inside, he stays outside in the parking lot, like waiting for John to come out and be gone. He doesn't have to do that.
No, well, I mean, actually, in Levy County, unfortunately, in Levy County, what's the alternative?
Yeah, right.
They're not going to do anything.
They're not going to do anything.
Exactly. So they're going to, he's that. I think that in him waiting outside, calling the police and doing all of that, I believe that proves fear.
Yeah, I do too.
There's no fear. He pulled up, recorded again. He's got to record. I mean, Levy County, I think if something terrible happened and you had one of these people do that at Hale's, Levy County, the way they are so inept, they'd be like, is it on video? So you have to record the crime against you,
Right.
Jesus. But I think that, with him setting back, because if he felt, comfortable, he would have just gone in and been like, but and it also disproves some bullshit that they've said about places like Walmart. When he goes in and he finds that John Cook's there, he wants him gone. I mean, they're supposed to be gone, but in this instance, he he goes, he notices the vehicle before he goes in, and he doesn't want to be boxed in with these people,
Right.
Like I said, I think it proves fear. I think it goes well against their narrative. I didn't, that didn't register with me at first, like the way that, that could be interpreted. But I thought very much, because they spend so much time trying to say that Jeremy Hales is not afraid.
Right.
But
he's not even going into places where he is. Look at number 6 and compare number 6 to what we've seen the so-called attorneys in this case do.
During the period of representation, respondent made public disparaging remarks on social media about members of the public in Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Julie Mata, yes, indeed, who presided over the paternity case filed by Owens. Yeah, as an officer...
Public disparaging remarks about members of the public, you guys. I had no idea that was against the bar ethics. I thought you could say whatever you wanted about members of the public. Apparently, you cannot.
We'll see. This could be part of it, but
yeah, that's true. It could get pled down or whatever. But according to the complaint, the thing that Jingris said that got him in this trouble about members of the public, he called the JFC members total fucking psychos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was using his position as an officer of the court to attack people. We kept comparing him to like a bull in the china shop.
Mm-hmm.
he ran
like
in
a whirling dervish.
He would destroy anything and see exactly what transpired. And again, like you said, comparatively, isn't it strange how a lot of this lines up? Now, I liked a lot of this too, because you got a lot of review for that case, so if people don't know about this case, they can find out about what was filed, how all of this stuff, how it went, what was stated by Eckerd, and so on. I mean, there's quite a bit in here, giving
that's like the
background.
case history. The really good stuff though comes with the charges.
Well, it comes in around, it's noted in Owens on September 14, 2023, expedited motion to seal a court record and other documents or included Eckerd's email exchange to Owens, placed respondent on notice that he needed to be diligent in assuring that Owens was truthful about her health, alleged pregnancy, medical records and events, and determining whether any legitimate evidence existed reflecting that Owens was pregnant and that Eckerd was the father. So with that, like what's funny is all these filings and stuff. Yeah, he gets put on notice, and the public very much. Remember when he came in?
We tried to tell him. And he would say things like, if I find out she's lying, I will drop her. And then he wouldn't listen to anybody telling him, here's where she lied on this date. Here's the proof where she lied. You know what his excuse was? Well, that was before my time.
It was fascinating because he would say, show me one instance, just one instance, and I'm done. Just one instance.
And then we would show him several and he would block us. Whoever showed it to him would get blocked.
Mm-hmm. It was so bizarre.
It was bizarre.
And,
like I don't think this man has any ethics. I don't know why he is so tied to Laura or why he has so much loyalty to this person who is a serial liar, other than he somehow sees himself in her.
I don't know. I do not understand like why you.
But he's willing to give up his entire career for it.
Yeah. I mean, he is sabotaging his entire life, for that. And hey, if that's what he wants to do with his life, so be it.
Oh yeah, it's a free country. You can give your life up for stupid reasons, but
you can be as stupid as you want.
Man, we tried to tell him, and we tried diligently to tell him. The very first time I contacted him via Twitter, because he asked people for exactly what Tug said, show me one instance where she's lied, and I put out a very nice tweet at him about here's some instances where she's lied and here's the proof. He blocked me immediately. He wasn't interested in hearing the truth. We can demonstrate that he actively avoided hearing how she lied.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely, but with the him being put on notice and then shown the lies, and then the court finding him, and he's still there. Like you said, I don't understand his connection to this person. I really don't. There have been a lot of, a lot of insinuations, and I'm not insinuating anything there. In fact,
I actually don't think it is romantic. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, they must be in love with each other. I don't think that's it. I couldn't tell you what it is, but I don't think it's that. It's something.
Think it's the headline? I mean,
Yeah, he saw an opportunity, I think, to get his name in headlines and to get some internet fame. He considers himself an internet lawyer, and it didn't go the way he thought it would. But I think what we discovered about David Jingris is that he doesn't like to lose. Yeah. And so I think he's so invested in somehow pulling out a win, which he got the other day. He got one. I got to hand it to him. He got a win against a YouTuber, and he got a harassment order for her against a YouTuber. And
it's absolutely crazy when you think about the maelstrom of bullshit that is happening around her, and for her to be able to bring anything against anyone, that is, I know, like you were saying, it's an indictment against the lawyer.
Yeah, it is, because it's not the judge's fault. The lawyer did not go to bat for his client and did not even put on a defense. He thought that he had it just by making her prove the elements and admitting on the stand that this YouTuber never contacted her directly. And that is one of the major elements of the harassment. You have to contact someone directly, and he never did. And she admitted that he never contacted her. So it should have been thrown out.
Yeah, it should have been gone.
So on one hand, the lawyer is kind of correct in not needing to put on a defense. But in this case, he should have, because the judge needed to see how many times and how much she's lied and how she took what he said out of context. There were some gross things he said that, like, Tug or I would never say.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's not allowed
free
under
speech,
the First Amendment.
Unfortunately, there is a line, and again, offensive speech is the reason that we have free speech laws, because why would we need to protect speech that everyone agrees with? It's the offensive shit that's exactly why you have it.
He said nothing that I haven't heard on Howard Stern. Albeit less funny. Howard had a way of making gross things really funny, and I don't think this particular YouTuber was funny. I think he thought he was being funny, though.
Right.
And there's no crime against telling a bad joke.
People have to get edgy out of their system sometimes,
Yeah.
And it's hopefully people, they either do it well or they grow out of it. If they do it well, then it works, and you forgive everything.
And you can, if you do it well, people forgive it. Like, for instance, Nick Rekieta, no one ever has to ask whether he's joking or not. You just always know, because he knows how to deliver it. He knows how to deliver it. But somebody else saying the exact same thing that he might say, it could fall real flat and come out real wrong. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's
Indeed.
tough. And not that Nick's always told a great joke. Sometimes his jokes fall flat, but not often. But when you're in that realm, when you're trying to do the edgelord stuff, you got to be careful.
Man, I mean, this stuff is so amazing. So failed to diligently investigate and or research Owens' allegations to determine whether a statement to him, opposing counsel, and court were truthful, or that the sonogram provided to him and used in court in a hearing on June 10th, 2024, was an image created by an ultrasound performed on Owens. Tom, was it real? No, it wasn't. Oh my God. And they go through all the filings over how this comes into place, what's going. So the motion for sanctions pursuant to Rule 26 placed respondent on notice that Accusations had claimed that Owens was not pregnant, which created a duty on his part to ensure that his investigation and research thoroughly addressed everything that Owens had told him or provided to him. Huh? Weird, huh? Again, you get the judge mad at too. Lord, when that's when it went sideways. That's what we said. I I will admit, when I looked at this, I figured there would be thrashing about and, complaining. And I thought maybe some protective orders might fall. But I didn't think this would happen because false accusers are never normally. This is so rare. I've never watched something like this happen to the point that because of false accusations that you see her, and she's also her own worst enemy in this. If she would have gone out and said, "Oh, I've got mental problems," man,
it would be over by now.
Yeah, she would have gotten a slap on the wrist.
They would have dropped it. They would have dropped it. I'm telling you, Clayton offered it to her. He offered before the charges came down. Before the judgment came down, and it was the judgment that led to the criminal charges. She had a chance before to settle the case.
Yeah, just admit
it, to write. She had a chance to write a letter saying whatever she wanted. I have a head injury. I fell off my horse too many times. I'm getting help. I did lie. I'm sorry. And they would have stopped. They would have settled the case, which means there would never have been an adverse judgment against her. There would never have been recommendation to the There would never have been a trial. So there wouldn't have been perjury on the stand.
Did you see that? Do you know who the YouTuber Turkey Tom is that does all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Turkey Tom was accused of some pretty heinous stuff by two exes. And he came out with a very thorough video that, it just obliterated what they stated. Now, one of them has come out and retracted the statements.
Oh, boy.
And the way that it's stated, I'm like, man, that right there, that's what she was, what Owens was offered. And this person took it. They did a public
Smart.
retraction. Yeah.
That's smart because you know what? People will forget. Eventually, people will just move on. It'll be a footnote.
Well,
but
no,
now she's made it into a
think,
national story.
No, people will still think that he did something horrible because that's the way false allegations work. But unfortunately, the best outcome you can usually get is a retraction of.
Yeah.
But the allegations, they hit so loud at the beginning of everything that typically it's just like Hale's. Okay. By the time the cases end, we're talking about years down the road. Now, when you first saw this pick up, you had a lot more people that they may be outsiders interested too, but you have this grind, this slog, because people, our society now, they want immediacy, I want it one and done. And that's not how court works. People who have kept up with this, bravo to you folks, by the way, they keep the diligently note stuff. And especially I've never seen a case that's all uphill either. Or rather downhill, where you're winning. It's always, there's something uphill. There's always
a couple
some
steps forward,
slide.
a couple steps back. Yeah.
But, you'll have a set, again, some of the biggest cases we've seen, even with some of the biggest wins we've seen, they've come with losses before, and you have contrition over that. Of course, it's understandable, but my God, with accusations like with Eckerd, luckily for Eckerd, the allegations made against him, they were made, but for some reason they popped up, flashed out, like people in the know, in those communities, they understood it. But as people out there on a whole, if I mentioned Clayton Eckerd was accused of this, a lot of people are like, if they knew who that was, if they knew, like, that's not my thing. So, but even if they knew, they had not heard it.
Right.
So it was a brand new thing. And now his has been, it's so loud on the back end of it that he's actually getting more noise on the back end of it, I think, than the front end, which is good. That's very good. But typically that's not.
By the way, if you guys are following the podcast Love Trapped on Apple Podcasts and also Spotify, iHeartRadio, episode 3 came out today. It is amazing. There is new audio from Laura Owens we've never heard before. Remember that video, Tug, that she posted and Jingris posted of her showing her belly to the camera? Remember that?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently that was a 4-minute video with audio, and they played some of the audio, and it is crazy. It's crazy.
Well, just hearing that there are emails that they allegedly proved that he knew about this stuff. Oh my God, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, and apparently he had, and it'll go into this in here, he had her, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the story, Laura Owens faked pregnancy with the former bachelor. So that's what this is about. She faked a pregnancy, and her attorney,
after oral, after not even having actual sex. So, I mean, just to put that in. And when she faked it, we were talking about faking medical records, injections,
faking belly pictures, faking videos of her with a allegedly pregnant belly. I mean, and sent him thousands of harassing emails. I mean, you can't even believe the emails. 300 pages of them dropped recently that between them that we had never seen. A bunch of them we hadn't seen. They're crazy. Like if you had I don't know how Clayton made it through. I really don't. After reading all of those emails, I don't know how he made it through. I think if it had happened to a woman like that, that person who did that would have been in jail so fast. It would have been seen as a real threat. The more I read through what she did to him, the scarier it is. And I can't even believe he had to suffer through it for as long as he did.
That's when, again, when I talk about like any of these cases we cover, if it involves male victims, look at how courts treat it. If you were to think about flipping that, and a male perpetrator, if it were a male perpetrator, you would have the expectation a male can't get up on the stand and cry. I was told by lawyers that no matter what I thought about something in a situation, that my emotional well-being, the court doesn't care. I have to prove it factually. I can't
Look
cry.
what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse when he broke down on the stand, reliving a traumatic moment where his life was in danger and he was defending himself and he had to shoot people to do it, which is traumatic. Okay, he cries on the stand and the entire internet is making fun of him for months. That broke my heart.
Look, Depp is still on trial. He is still publicly on trial. Still. He has the media. Every time he has something come up that's new, that is going to be a step forward, they do an article about her for some reason. And they talk about this, and they talk about how unfair it was, and it's silence. She just put out some kind of, what was it, a documentary or some shit she was part of.
Oh God.
Yet again.
I cannot believe that there are documentarians out there who will talk to her, that liar. She's a liar. And I have no compunction saying that. She was proven on the stand to have lied multiple times. My dog stepped on a bee.
No, this is how, okay, TMZ here, for example. Here, this is a real article, came out 3 weeks ago. Amber Heard is all smiles in Spain as Johnny films Hollywood return. Now, what's this about? It's about Johnny Depp going and working on a Hollywood movie again. And Amber Heard, she's pushing a baby in a stroller. And all the pictures in that are...
so they can't let him have his movie without mentioning her and traumatizing him by putting photographs of her in the article that's supposed to be about him and his career. Unreal.
So they put up, so on Sundance, at the Sundance Festival, they put out a documentary called Silenced, which tackles the weaponization of defamation cases in the post-Me Too era. And it featured Jennifer Robinson, the attorney, the UK attorney for Amber Heard back when. Because of course, when she actually had to be put on trial, it was a different trial. When you try a tabloid, trying the tabloid was, well, you got to prove that when they covered this, they didn't believe it. They're putting out something again. It goes with that whole, maliciousness. Now, I would argue that everything they do is malicious, but, the court was like, no, they upheld it. And it was so bizarre. But then you had a trial actually against her, much different, but again, the point in all of that was to say, Look, I mean, look at how far this went. Look at how far again. I believe that personally, Jeremy Hale's being the face of all of the things that are going on. And you notice when they play the whole pity card, they don't mention John Cook. They don't mention John Cook, the guy who is on record pulling pew pew on somebody who drove by, and a woman there. Even in that, you notice they use Wes as the face of that. They don't talk about the woman and the child. They conveniently leave that out of the narrative.
Right.
It looks, but when you talk about, they make it, and again, on court records, this is how it reflects, but it's Jeremy Hale's the Preston. It's not Jeremy and George versus,
Yep,
Cook
they
and
always
Preston.
leave her out. They always leave her out because it looks really bad for them that she's included. So they leave her out as if she is not a victim of this, but she absolutely is.
Well, you could tell that when they were trying to promote the whole, the VAWA, the violence against women. It doesn't even matter for him. And it's like, well, first of all, yes, but second of all, there's a female involved.
There's a woman involved in this, right? But again, their calling card is who's George. That right there is their rallying cry. Who's
I noticed
George?
something real funny today, by the way. So Vomit dropped an article, kicked it out today, right? And right when he dropped it, funny enough, on the day, by the way, it started with 32 likes, but you can't view any of the people that posted the likes on it. And there's only one comment, and the one comment comes from Paint Chips. So typically, I'm like, that looks like, a snake den full of fake accounts again.
32 likes. They normally can only get 3.
Yeah, well, it's funny. The last 2 articles that they've done, they went from just a couple to 26 and 32. And it's like, wait a minute. That's weird. But I mean,
they figured out a new way. They must have figured out a new way to get sock puppets to like their articles.
A lot of their stuff very much smells. It reeks of sock. And again, we know they use sock puppet accounts. We've seen them. We know that they use some very, very questionable tactics in that. So it's like, it's just funny that right when it pops up, it already has it. It's also funny too. So it was an article about how I forget what they called it. They're trying to promote the Hales ecosystem kind of idea, right? But they cheer more cases, and they put up different live streams, right? My live stream that they put in there was me reading the response, the 70-page response to all of it. I was like, wait a minute. So reading documents, these people are so garbage as in quote unquote investigators that reading a document and trying to be thorough. I spent 3.5 hours just reading to go through 60.
Well, they don't do that. Oh, or if they do, they're doing investigative work. But if we do it, it's just, for clicks or whatever the hell.
It's just
it's
funny.
everything. It's always, if they do it, it's fine. If we do it, it's not.
It's just funny. I was like, that's weird. Now,
well, their entire purpose is to get us to stop covering it. Their purpose is their criticism is not legitimate in any way. It has always been about getting us to stop. Remember when Bruce first started emailing us, it was, if you stop your coverage, I won't sue you.
Right.
Oh, that's the best way to guarantee. And I will never shut up.
Then the response to that was I didn't say I would sue you. I just said I wouldn't.
I won't. Yeah.
And it's like
that I can guarantee you won't be sued.
I was like, are you kidding me?
In fairness, in retrospect, though, he never did. And we didn't stop and he didn't sue. So maybe it was always just a fake threat.
I figure they will try to follow through with one of the craziest lawsuits ever. And, somebody will. They seem to want to have Preston sue on behalf of the child. And the problem, again, she's going to run into is like for us, for example, Preston, as you and I, because we work as a team. So as you and I, we are covering and we're talking about, hey, reach out to, and they did. They did reach out. So apparently they felt confident enough that despite all of their spin and all of their bullshit, saying, oh, this is cyber harassment more, they're okay if they wanted us to put somebody in jail.
Oh, Bruce also reached out to us and sent pictures of the child and told us to report this, which we never did.
Yep. Yeah.
Because that seemed like that's a trap.
Well, it was really bizarre. First of all,
he wanted us to cover this case.
Well, yeah, of course. He actually wanted to be on our channels with us covering the case. He wanted to be the voice that would come in and get attention. And really, when he did that, he would get attention for his own issue.
For his own thing. He really wanted to be famous for his mac and cheese bologna.
Well, what's really funny about that is like I said, I didn't notice any of his emails at first. So I didn't ignore them. I didn't even notice them. So it was even, less of I didn't pay attention because I didn't know they were there. But if Bruce would have comported himself different, and different doesn't mean being nice, by the way, he doesn't have to be.
Although it always helps.
Yeah, but he didn't have to be my pal. The thing is, all the threats and bullshit. I was like, why the fuck would I put you on my, on my platform? So you could threaten me? Would I have done an interview? Potentially, yeah. I typically, if I also have to trust a person not to get on my channel and start yelling and screaming something that'll try to get it banned, So
the thing I needed to know, that I needed to see to know I made the right choice by putting his email directly in the garbage, was the way he treated VetNation, who did have him on the program, who in good faith did talk to him, and then that man spent the next several months trying to get his YouTube channel deleted from YouTube.
Well, we found that we actually had an email that showcased it, because it was sent out. It was so crazy. So yeah, like good faith, the broadcast itself that they're included in will be used as a reason to get you knocked offline. Hey, can you hold this for a minute?
Sure. Sure. So yeah, you guys, we are reading. If you're just joining us, I know some of you were like, what the heck are we talking about? What is this document? We are talking about some breaking news. There has been in the Laura Owens and Clayton Eckert case, her attorney has been, he is being investigated. He has been investigated by the Arizona bar for his actions in that case. And these are the charges that have come down from the Arizona bar against him. This is what we warned him about during this case. We warned him multiple times that if you keep acting the way you're acting, you're going to end up in front of the bar. You're going to get your license yanked or some kind of suspension or something if you keep on doing what you're doing. And sure enough, there are things in this report I didn't even know existed. There are charges in here that I didn't even see coming. I knew it was bad what he did. I didn't know it was this bad. And so we're comparing how David Jingris behaved to how the lawyers in this case have behaved, in Hale's case have behaved, and what can happen to them and what probably will happen to them.
There's so many. Again, you got to remember that Bruce, like he has gotten in trouble for unlicensed practice of law. Potentially, I mean, that can potentially be a big problem for him. It didn't just happen in the court, but you're talking about something that, the bar can very much get involved in, and should, by the way. They should be getting involved.
That's their job. Yeah.
But we'll see. When people think the bar never does anything, well... And
I will say that the Arizona bar did take an extraordinarily long time to do this.
Well, they waited
really
for
long time.
Other feet to, they waited. I guess the whole thing, it's just like the bar has stated before, which we've seen with, with them, the antis tried to spin this up, but the bar will tell them, hey, if there's some order in the court or something like that, then yeah, sure, we'll look at it. But while things are ongoing? Probably not, So
Well, and
they
in
waited.
in this case, just like in the Hale's case, in the thumbnail case, Judge Julie Mata referred Jingris to the bar, and so did the thumbnail judge refer Bruce to the bar.
I could not believe some of the stuff he said, man. I mean,
No.
when he was like, "Look at me, Dad,"
Look at me, Daddy. I'm a real judge now. Tee-hee. He really put that in a filing that he submitted about the judge.
Yeah, I mean, being an officer of the court, like if you and I say something like that, okay, we're not an officer of the court. We can say
Right.
whatever. We're not obligated to any sort of nicety with it. But he not only said it, but he filed it.
Yeah, you know what's wrong with him? I think he really admires Mark Randazza, and if you've ever watched Mark Randazza on Twitter, the guy's a flamethrower, and he's a lawyer, but he doesn't throw flames at judges.
Right.
He throws those flames at people he's sending who send his clients cease and desist, who are stupid or whatever. But if you notice, he doesn't file these things in court. It's just social media. Jingris, on the other hand, takes that as his signal that he should pretend to be Timu Mark Randazza towards a judge. No, I don't think Randazza would have done any of these things.
No, he would not. There's no earthly way he would have gotten himself
I've read
involved
some
in that.
spicy letters from Randazza, but they're always to some idiot. They're not to a judge.
Violating Mata's order, the 2014 order. That's about the medical records. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal.
She told them in court, no one is to disclose any medical records that are given between the parties. And he went immediately to his blog on his very next filing. He filed medical records in the court. He did not ask for them to be sealed or redacted from the record. So they were on the record, and then he blogged about them.
When that came up, right when it happened, we were like, dude, take that down.
You better take it down.
Yep. And he could have taken it down right then and been like, look,
and apologized. And he could have asked the clerk to seal it. And all of us would have stopped. We wouldn't have reported on it because we would have known. We knew that the judge said, don't do this.
Yeah. I mean, well, he can try to promote it in any way he wants, but people tried to show him a lot of nicety and respect. They tried, and he returned that with nastiness, vitriol, threats, and more. And once that happens, after a while, people get tired of it and they're like, screw you.
Yeah. You should see the things that he said about Lauren Knighty. I mean, he is obsessed with her. And how dare he go for an order of harassment against a YouTuber when he has said things equally as disgusting as the YouTuber that he got an order of harassment against. I think Lauren has a good case to get one against him based on how this judge ruled. I think she's got a good case against him. The things he has said about her are not repeatable. I wouldn't repeat them.
Wouldn't that be funny if his own case was used against him?
It should be.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah, that's one of the things with Hales had noted that, it's a double-edged sword. Like when these people are, wanting to get out of this or wanting to get out of that. Okay, well, if they do, the message is anything goes, and all right. I mean, like I said, that's a two-way thing. So you're alleging you're going to sue over items that you claim are similar to this, and yet, first of all, conflated, bullshit that there's, but it would still be, well, it's like the thumbnail lawsuit. If you won the thumbnail lawsuit, that would have been really bad for them.
Yep.
But Woodnick wrote him and was like, I'm also not certain why you're publishing court documents and your client's personal medical records contrary to court order. Laura Owens needs to comply with the order and provide disclosure. Yeah. And even with that, he ignores it. They're like, yeah, look at this. This is what he does. He posts his law office blog talking about it.
He failed to file an order with the clerk to close it. Yep. He didn't do any of that.
I mean, it's amazing. And this is
and he was
damn
all like
detailed.
so casual. He's like, what's the big deal? They're her records. The judge can't preclude her from sharing her own records. It's like, you dumbass. She did, and she can.
Yeah, she's already said this. She
Oh,
said
also,
none.
you know what else he did? Do you remember when he released the experts' reports?
Oh yeah. I'd forgotten
Clayton's
about that.
experts.
Uh-huh.
So those had medical records in them too, and he also did not get permission to share those, and he's getting charged with that too.
By engaging in that conduct before, again, look at what's happening here. And again, if you were compare parallels, what are other people doing now? So they do by making extrajudicial statements that he knew or reasonably should have known would be disseminated by means of public I can't say communication. There we go. And that would have a substantial likelihood of materially prejudicing the paternity case. And by using means that had no substantial purpose other than to embarrass, delay, or burden any other person. See, I mean, these.
Who does that sound like?
Yeah, this has been somebody's entire approach to litigation, in my opinion. The Mike Maricini thing is crazy. Witness intimidation. This is, so this goes through Laura Owens obtained a DVRO against Mike Maricini, which was
false and garbage in the first place.
Yes, it
was under false pretenses.
One of the worst ones I've ever. I mean, it said that essentially, if people don't understand how messed up this was, too, Mike Maricini calls the police because Laura Owens is stalking him. It's her own words note that he called the police on her because she was writing his new.
She kept showing up everywhere he was.
Yeah, and she started writing his female friend. I think that was
a girl he was dating. His new girlfriend. She was starting to like contact and harass her.
And he calls the police about it. The police go to her, and she alleges all of this crazy shit. So instead of the police being like, "Yo, leave this guy alone" or whatever, they're like, "Hey, why don't you go for a protective order?" Instead of telling him to do that.
Yep.
When he called in, and then the system, once it gears up like that, well, he's screwed. He ends up with that on his record and it's just it's an absolute mess. So. I mean,
for 5 years.
What a crazy situation through that, though. And then, through this, it talks about how that was weaponized too, because essentially they want to bring him in to show this pattern of behavior, to say, look, Laura Owens didn't just do this to one person. She did it to multiple people. That was crazy to find, I remember when all of that started dropping. And it was like, oh my God, I didn't really.
Oh my God, she did it to 3 people. My God, same thing. Always twins, pregnant with twins, and filing court cases against them when she can't get. You know what I found out listening to the podcast that I didn't know before, which is unbelievable. You might not have known this either. When she first started. After Clayton Echard told her after their one night together and the oral that happened, he didn't want to have a relationship with her.
Right.
That's really his only crime, was telling her no. We've heard that before. Jeremy Hale's told Lynette Preston no, and his life's been hell ever since. There's a specific type of person you can't say no to. I won't be ignored, Dan. It's that
right,
kind of
Michael?
person. Right, Michael? Exactly. There's a certain type of personality disorder you can't ignore. It's like the cardinal sin. Well, what I learned was she started telling him what she was going to do before she did it. Before she even claimed she was pregnant, this is only like 5 days after the event. She starts telling him, well, I was considering taking plan B just in case, because some of your stuff was down there. So she's not even claiming she's pregnant, but she's saying, should I take the plan B? Do you think I should take the plan B? And it's just like, what? He figured out real quick, I'm sure you'll be back to tell me in a couple weeks that you're pregnant.
Yeah, she's an
Because
absolute dick.
yeah, she was planning it just because he said he didn't want to talk to her anymore. This was how she decided to keep him in her life, to keep being able to contact him. It is scary. She had that all planned out. And then the twins thing, after she said, before she even, like, obviously she didn't get an ultrasound because she's not pregnant. She wasn't pregnant in the first place. But after she tells him she's pregnant, then a few days later, she says, and by the way, the twin gene runs in my family. And sure enough, then a couple, a week after that, it's twins.
She's twinning.
She's twinning.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, look at Lethal. Lauren is in the chat. Lauren, she says, I'm number one in David's heart. Suck it, y'all.
You are, actually.
I'm a little concerned how obsessed he is with Lauren.
I go through and I look through Lauren's timeline. It's one of the ones, even when I'm not been talking about stuff, I'll look at it just to see what he's called her this week.
Lauren, thank you for that, by the way. It is entertaining. We know that it's not fun for you, but it is entertaining, the stuff he comes up with. My God. But I do love your reactions to him the most.
I think people learn really quickly. Like when you're dealing with these types, they a lot of times are brought in just, again, like we've seen with other cases. Let's say there are types that are brought into cases that are made to stop other people from talking about it. Mm-hmm. And they will do extreme things sometimes. And you get to the point where it's amazing what you get to the point where you can deal with. Like I said, in starting YouTube, I never imagined that people, the doxing and stuff you never imagined, period. But the casual nature where people will take aim at children and try to, try to do harm or incite others to do harm.
Right.
I mean, it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. And God, after a while, you become hardened to some behavior that if you tell a regular, like a normie out there, like what's going on, they're like, oh my God, that's insane. You're like, yeah, that's Tuesday for me.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday. Yeah.
Well, it is. I used to compare that behavior to, I would, have we worked with extremely mentally ill people that would be right out of crisis and everything. So they would be, they're just now out of their crisis moment. They come to housing and they're going to come off their medication. So they're going to be extreme, sometimes violent. Like I said, during that process, I had a rib broken, in my therapy days. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had somebody with if you've ever seen anyone with true explosive anger disorders, those that just irrationally explode into violence. I caught one of those one time. Broke a rib of mine, like I said. But
holy cow. It's funny. Lauren has a similar background as yours too, because she works in mental health, and at least, Lauren, you're prepared for some of this.
Well, when you
stuff.
look at it, I can excuse the behavior I run into in mental health. I feel better with clientele that are volatile and sometimes dangerous than I feel with some of these people, because at least those folks, they have an excuse. They're not doing it as a payday. I mean, but God, this is 51 pages of just
they just burned him so bad. It's so great. And the thing is, I don't know if he knew this was going to become public, but he said some real lies about this document before we saw it. He was saying stuff about how, that bar guy, he had to take out a bunch of stuff, and it's all lies. It's like,
a bunch of this is pretty well spot on when I'm reading it. I'm like,
we know, we were there. We know these are not lies.
I watched some of this happen as it happened. I remember this very well. Yeah, so they talk about Mancini being, again, someone with a protective order against them. But he said also this happened to him too. So he's a newly found witness. He wants to come in and he wants to he wants to talk about it, of course, and despite that, despite that, you have this nut job do everything in his power to do damage. In a pretrial statement, respondent explained that it would be a crime for Mancini to violate the California DVRO, and that any violation of the order by Mancini would subject him to arrest. The pretrial statement also stated that the issue has been reported to court security by the undersigned counsel, who has requested that Mr. Mancini be arrested if he violates the DVRO as law requires. Now, again, there is an exception. You think about the absurdity to this notion, by the way. If a protective order precludes a person from being in the same courtroom, then how would you ever have the plaintiff and defendant continue? Because oftentimes
you couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the court staff is there. They're there to ensure that a person is not in danger.
Right, and they're police officers, for God's sake. They're not just court staff. They're sheriff's deputies. Like they're not they're armed. They have tasers. They have guns. Like nothing is going to happen to you in court. Are you kidding? You're in the safest place you could possibly be.
So here he goes and he contacts security personnel at the Maricopa County Superior Court. Speaks to officer there and says, "Hey, Laura's really afraid."
I met Officer Gibbs, by the way, the guy that they're talking about. I met him. He was the nicest guy. He reminded me of the dad on Family Matters. He looked just like him, and he was so jovial, and he was like meeting everybody in line. But what was funny about it, it was so cop behavior, like checking everybody out. He's feeling you out, see who you are, what are you doing there, But he was so jovial, and like everybody loved him, so everyone was just telling him everything about themselves. I know, and they had that situation completely under control. So when I tell you, I was there were bomb sniffing dogs, there was a SWAT team, and these were all people who were there specifically for the court day because of the media and everything else. They had it completely under control. There is no chance that anything was happening. And poor Mike was standing, he was right by me, he was sitting by me. You want to talk about scared? He was the one terrified to be there.
Of course.
He didn't want to be there because, for one, he thought he was going to be arrested. He didn't want to be anywhere near her. When she showed up, he was like wanting to get the hell out of there and go as far away from her as possible. He never tried to go anywhere near her. I mean, the idea.
People, though. She absolutely terrorizes them. Again, I see so many similarities in some of these folks out there. So you have it again. He's telling the officer that, hey, the court approval for Mancini to appear, that's not been granted yet. And the DVRO contains no exceptions for in-person contact like that. There's no exception whatsoever.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
there are exceptions, and a judge is the one who can give them.
Yep.
And she did.
So they talk about the email exchanges, how decisions go. And despite this being ruled on, and the fact that that it goes this way here, on the morning of June 10, 2024, when Owens saw Mancini in the parking lot, respondent contacted court security personnel. He's informed that they were unable to help. Shortly after, he calls 911 from the courthouse parking lot. So he's told that the judge said it's fine. And what does he do? He calls 911.
He calls 911 after being told by the judge, no, he can testify. Oh, you know what else he did after that, which is not mentioned in here? He was trying to keep Mancini out of the courtroom, right? He claimed that Laura could not function with Mike in the courtroom. But as it's happening, court starting, Mike is sitting 2 people away from me. We're in the back row. The judge says to him, are you invoking the rule? The witness rule. As in, do you want the witnesses to leave the room until it's their turn?
Yeah.
He goes, no, Your Honor, we're not invoking. What? That was your chance to get him out of the room.
Right.
And you know what? Because he was never called to be a witness because they ran out of time, they could have kept him out for the entire thing.
Yeah.
So it's all garbage.
Well, I wonder how deep the hole of, the things that or that are alleged about him knowing, with I wonder how much more there was, It always, because I mean, the idea, like he keeps arguing, keeps doing, even when a court, there's this thing with some of these lawyers that even when they're told, now again, if you think that a judge is terrible on something, you have the right to try to remove a judge from something. You have all the rights to do that, all of that. But you'll notice, like with the ecosystem, like with Bruce, for example, every single thing that would come in with a decision, it would get argued if it was against him. And if a decision came in, it would get argued again. And typically, like the messed up thing in that, typically a judge will shut that down. And be like, yeah, I'm not going to humor this anymore. But Bruce was humored for a long time in that. But anyway, I mean, like I said, there's freaking 50 plus. Oh, God.
The disparaging comments about the judge. Oh, my God.
This was amazing.
Take a look through here and just pull out some of the quotes that they put in here.
The first instance. On July 8th, 20 days after Judge Matta entered her under advisement ruling, respondent filed a blah, 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 which was unprofessional. Inside of it, he noted, oh my God, some of this stuff.
This is so great.
Oh my God. I mean, some of this is so crazy. It's difficult to image.
He meant imagine.
Yeah, to image a more disrespectful, disreputable, and disgraceful act for any judge to commit than inviting her father to attend a high-profile trial in support of a party while also privately engaging in prohibited ex parte discussions about the case with her father.
Which, by the way, he had no evidence that ever occurred. The only thing he believed was true was that her father may have been in the courtroom, which was never verified to my knowledge.
Yeah.
He had no evidence that she participated in any discussions with her dad about the case. And it is not illegal for a judge's father to watch them in court.
But the only proof was somebody stated, hey, I saw this person and I talked to them and they said blah, blah, blah. That on its own, you got to think, he says, though, that all of those people, like all of us, we're all liars about everything. But that one part was true. That's interesting, too, isn't it?
Well, he actually twisted what that person said.
Oh, yeah.
Because he claimed that the conversation that was had was that the judge's dad said he had read that Julie gave him some filing. No. The woman who met this person gave him a filing. Just a random person in line shared a court filing with this man who may have been Judge Matta's dad. We don't know.
Right.
And he twisted that into this man told this person that Julie, the Judge Matta gave him the motion. It was 100% a lie.
Well, it was amazing to see. It was amazing to see some of the filings and to be privy to some of those conversations, to either have been part of one or to listen to someone else have these conversations. You'd be like, wait a minute, that's not what's said. This is my favorite quote. You talk about disrespectful. Listen to this, folks. This shameful act by Judge Matta not only violated Laura Owens' rights, it raises serious questions regarding Judge Matta's fitness as a judge of the Superior Court. Any reasonable objective observer in Laura's position would be justified in wondering, quote, was my case fairly decided based on evidence, or was Judge Matta simply trying to impress her father? Look at me, Daddy. I'm a real judge now. Just watch me destroy a young woman's life because the other party was on The Bachelor. Hee hee. Oh my God.
He filed this in court. By the way,
this is a court filing.
I will let you know, I did just see on Twitter maybe a couple hours ago that Runkle of the Bailey, Ian Runkle, will be reading this. He said as soon as he possibly can.
Yeah.
I don't know when that is, but if those of you who are following this should go and make sure you subscribe over there so you can see his reading of it. Ian's been following a lot of Jingris's behavior, and he has his favorite motion is that one. He could not. His reaction to reading that the first time was so great. Oh my God, it was so good.
So his second instant was screwed up form of final judgment. Okay, so he alleges that. The third instant, commission of crime.
Oh my.
Yes. Oh Lord.
Oh my.
Man, that's.
Oh, he accused her of committing a crime. He accused the judge.
Yeah.
Of committing a crime.
Again, he's the officer
to enforce the DVRO, which is stupid. The DVRO was enforced, okay, but it did not apply in the courtroom, as it often doesn't apply in the courtroom. And he didn't go anywhere near her, nor did he speak to her. But you know who tried to speak to him? Laura Owens, through her counsel, told Mike Maricini before this court thing that Laura would be willing to get on the phone with him.
That's wild, man. You know, that is
very typical of her. Very typical of her. She wants what she wants. She wants contact when she wants it.
Yeah.
But not the other, like awful.
It's crazy. Internet posting a public warning, Judge Julie Mata. Again, remember, officer of the court. like again, if people are looking at that and they're like, well, I can say, you can say a lot of things. You as a private citizen have plenty of right in there. Officer of the court going in front of a specific judge and then talking all this shit. I mean, it's amazing. All the
really
stuff
not advisable.
That, I guess it depends on who. Like I said, I saw some of the things Bruce said about Bolitho. And
yeah.
They were, wow.
Some of them he said to his face.
Yeah. And some of them he didn't because he didn't show.
Not his face, he wouldn't show up.
Filings. Yeah. Fifth instance, the Judge Mata does not care about the rules. Look, the YouTube shows and stuff. Whoopsie. Recording a podcast. Whoopsie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe don't keep.
Remember when we told David that he shouldn't be on YouTube talking about a case he's currently in? No,
what's fascinating is I had somebody, I'm not going to say who, just let's say somebody that was that was higher connected. And they were like, after that stuff came out, the nastiness, and there was a certain title he used that it used, let's say, some prohibited wording on YouTube, and somebody wrote and they were like, could this get flagged down if a bunch of people flagged it? And I was like, yes, but do not flag that. I was like, this is evidence. Do not flag it down because it showcases, these people's twisting narrative, what they do. Now, I never imagined it would go over here, but neither did Gingy, apparently. He apparently didn't think it would go. Tramp stamp lawyer, man. That tramp stamp might get him some extra loving. You think it'll get him an extra Snicker bar in the commissary? That'd be amazing. Hey, maybe paint chips can give him some love lessons. How do you know your Bubba crush actually loves you back? Oh my God, that'd be amazing. When not to drop the soap. Violations related to respondents' disparaging comments about and comments about
there were so many of them.
I
love the comments about the public. These are funny.
Respondents sent an email to Laura Owens and when she identified herself
and Reddit. No, this is important. To Laura Owens Reddit. And copyright at reddit.com. Because he tried to unmask a person on Reddit who gave a written review of one of his YouTube videos.
Right.
It was actually a person that does I watch so you don't have to. It was literally that. It was this exact same thing. I watch so you don't have to. And this person was like, I will type this out so you don't have to watch it. And like, this is what I saw. He wanted to sue that person for copyright violations. And this is what he said. Clayton Eckert's fans are generally speaking total fucking psychotic assholes.
Clayton's fans, being the total fucking assholes that they are, have come up with a new plan, and the problem here isn't just the public, but he's taking aim at Clayton Eckert through it.
Mm-hmm. And can you imagine trying to unmask a Redditor for doing an I watch so you don't have to?
That's what
he tried to do.
That again, no matter how egregious the behavior is, these things never work out. They don't. It doesn't matter what site they're on. Like, generally, trying to unmask a person, you're running into the platform and the platform's lawyers.
Yeah, Reddit told them to pound sand.
Yeah, well, that's what Twitter's done in the past. I mean, we've seen.
But what's interesting though is that in this though, it said he was go up a little bit, go back up to where you were on that paragraph. Because I think what they're doing is they're saying that he used, maybe it's not there. Never mind. It's probably further down in the document where they talk about what the violations are. Mm-hmm. But in that one, it's using his law license as a weapon against people, like weaponizing his position as a which is what we said he was doing.
Well, that's what we're running into. I mean, again, you have people that are telling us like that when these people talk about anti-SLAPP laws, the reason that anti-SLAPP laws exist is for what they are doing, because you will have people that when you criticize, whether it's a company or an entity, whether that's a like I say, corporation or a private individual, or in this case, a limited purpose public figure, like some of these people, you're allowed to criticize and critique. Now, there are limits to criticizing and critiquing. And it is amazing that the same people that brought in folks like a Paint Chips that say some of the awful shit that they bring up sue folks like Larry Foreman over statements that comparatively, the things that they defend as free speech are so horrible sometimes, like they defend again that video, that video that's pretty nasty. And yet, oh my God, I love this document. Anyway, there's a lot of pages, so we're not going to go through this whole thing. We've been here for longer than I thought we would be, actually, to be honest. But
it's too bad, because my favorite part is still coming up, I think. And
which
I think
part?
It's this part, I think, where you are about right. Okay, wait. Number 136. Owens admitted to respondent that she had altered the sonogram prior to the date she hired him.
Prior to the date? So, holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, there are bombshells after bombshell in here. By the way, he also, you know what else we find out? She gave him the password to her medical records, like her online portal or whatever.
Oh my God. So he had all of that.
And
all
he
that access.
Yeah, he logged in and saw that she did not go to the Planned Parenthood in Mission Viejo, where she said she did. He also knew she did not go to the Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles, where she said she did while she was on the stand, while he was questioning her, and he didn't stop her in court. He knew, as she was testifying, that it was false.
I'm going to ask him on.
Look at number 137. Read number 137.
I'm going to ask him online why he continues. Why at some point that he didn't bail out. I'm going to ask him on fucking Twitter. I'm going to, like, straight up. He hasn't blocked me yet.
Look what happened on my birthday on April 15th. Respondents
he did this for you.
A draft affidavit to Owens to review and sign, after which she informed him by email. So they have emails between the two of them. That's what this should tell you.
Holy God.
She informed him by email about some possible changes, including the following. Maybe don't include, sorry, let me get my Laura voice on. Maybe don't include the ultrasound since I tampered with the top. I don't want Dr. Medchell to question me and my credibility based on that.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Since I tampered with the top. That's
Can you believe that?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm not shocked that there's proof out there and that he was told, but how he knew from go, and God, that's crazy.
Look at 139. Later the next day, Owens executed the affidavit that respondent had drafted and which was attached to the April 26th response to respondent Eckert's amended motion for relief based on fraud. Owens' affidavit, a portion of which was set forth in Exhibit E to this complaint, included the image of the altered sonogram.
Oh my God.
He knew it was fake. She told him it was fake. He left it in there anyway.
Respondents subsequently learned that Owens had allegedly gone to Planned Parenthood in late June 2023, but took no steps to correct that false statement in her April. Man, the sonogram that Owens claimed was from Planned Parenthood includes her real name, even though that sonogram was not a sonogram that resulted from an ultrasound that had been performed on Owens. Owens
it
stated
was performed on her sister. The Maricopa County investigators discovered it was her sister's sonogram.
This is so crazy. And she stated in an affidavit under penalty of perjury, however, that she had not changed anything on the sonogram other than the name of the facility.
But he knew she never went there. He knew that.
He knew it was freaking tampered with.
He knew it wasn't hers. That's what this is saying. He knew she never had a sonogram.
Well, I mean, there were so many, like the Owens told respondent that she went to Planned Parenthood anonymously. And then later at that hearing that everyone is, if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to see it, testified she went to Planned Parenthood using a fake name.
Yeah, so which one is it? Anonymously or the
Well, it
fake
all kept
name,
changing
Laura?
dates, places, names.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing.
What he has done here is seriously bad. And we didn't even know this, you guys. We did not know any of this. We knew all the other witness intimidation stuff, but this stuff right here,
knowing beforehand.
Go back up to 150. I saw something there. I remember this. Zeman, look at this. On April 18th, respondent sent an email message to Owens stating that he had told Eckert's counsel that she went to Planned Parenthood on July 2nd, 2023, but he had located an email message from her to Dr. Zeman dated June 28th, stating that she had gone to Planned Parenthood the previous weekend. So he's like, Laura, when did you go? Because I just told Woodnick that you went on July 2nd, but that's not what this email you sent to Dr. Zeman says. And he never filed. He never told Greg Woodnick. He didn't file a motion of candor with the court. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
What's bad is the guy who works at Planned Parenthood. When you said Dr. Seaman, I thought you said, I wasn't looking at that. I said Dr. Seaman. I was like, wait.
No,
wait a
he
minute.
doesn't. And Zeman didn't work at Planned Parenthood. He was some other doctor, but she was emailing him about this. And
I was
her
like,
stories,
wait a
of
minute.
course, her stories never add up.
I think
Zeman might have been the epilepsy doctor. I'm not sure.
Okay. God, this stuff is so crazy, though. It's so crazy when you see it laid out.
This is the notice of candor stuff. I mean, this is all good, too. I know we've been here for a long time, but like Corey Keith. So this all goes over where he had to file the notice of candor. So he told the court these things that she did not tell the truth. And that Jingris is saying that Jingris knew what was in that notice of candor. He knew it. And he didn't do anything to stop her from doing what she was doing. He allowed her to continue fraud on the court. Yes, suborning perjury. Yes, that's what they call that.
Yep. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing when people have multiple narratives of something. Again, it reminds me of other things. When people, they have this ever fluid, ever changing narrative of what transpires. And about that. You are not just supposed to do something. They're supposed to be an or else. It's supposed to.
Yep.
I'm supposed to notify or else. So again, I bet Attorney Keith is glad he went looking.
Oh God,
at the
yeah.
show.
We felt sorry for him. Look at 160.
Oh, he looked like a deer in headlights, man.
I know that poor kid. Although respondent was aware of the content of the notice of candor, he failed to diligently investigate and research Owens' statements to him, which he presented to the court. Damn, son, why did you do this?
Good God, man. So prior to court, he reviews everything there. It's noting based on the information that respondent acquired during his representation of Owens. He was made aware that Owens had A, testified falsely before one of the judges, B, made false statements during depo, C, altered sonogram, which he offered into evidence himself. Yeah, so he knew that. I mean, that's a huge problem. He knows something's altered and he puts it in. Lord, I mean, how
what's
do you
kind of
survive
sad
this?
about this, though? I don't think a prosecutor could get in trouble for any of this.
Oh, no.
If a prosecutor did all of these things, they would get immunity for it.
Yeah. Prosecutors, God.
They can submit false evidence.
I think that Dan Owen, Owen Owens, Dan Owen, all of his mess. That's why when I put Owens lawyer on there, I ran out of words, but I put on the thumbnail, I put Laura Owens picture. I made sure to put it with the thing across it because I was like, man, that's so confusing, But I mean, it's so similar. A lot of it. Again, we're talking about different cases, but we are talking about a lot
very
of the
similar
same
behavior
crazy
by these judges. I mean, not judges, lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the same behavior. And this is what can happen. And I can't wait. By the way, Jingris's trial, when this goes to trial, it's going to be public.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Amazing.
I can't wait. There's more, like if you go down, I think at the end, let's see, what is this? Violations related to, respondents pursuant to meritless claims. So when he they got him for his appeal. So he appealed the ruling and they said it was meritless. And it was meritless. Like he argued, he knew these were false facts. Like it's so bad. It's just all so bad for him.
By engaging in conduct, including dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. Ooh,
Look
baby.
at this. Non-meritorious appeal. Yeah, that's what I was just talking. So now he's wasting the court's time.
Yeah, you can have a garbage. The thing people need to understand too, you can have a garbage appeal. That's one thing. And while you may think that's a waste of time, still, you have the right to do that. You do not, however, have the right to file something that is patently freaking
it's false. It's based on false evidence. And you were a part of it the whole time. This is
there's
really
no
bad
way.
for him.
Like again, I would approach all of this with alleged. But the thing is, I've watched some of these things.
We watched him do it. We watched him do these things. Oh yeah, his DUI trial has still not happened either, so that's coming up as well. Also,
man, come on, brother.
His life is in ruins. I don't know. He allowed this case to just destroy his life.
I think he must have thought that all press is good press, right? My name's out there. I mean, it's good for me. But the thing I don't understand is when it goes really, really bad. Why isn't he like, got to get out of this,
I think he just can't admit that he made a really bad mistake. I think he got so roasted by the internet that he's dug his heels in and he's just determined to get his revenge. And he will not go away. He will not admit that he made a mistake.
That's crazy to me. I mean, it's crazy that instead of admitting that you screwed up, you would potentially put yourself in jail.
If I were him, I would change my name, move out of state, and then roofie myself so I could potentially forget that I ever did any of these things.
I mean, seriously, that's so much madness. Oh my God.
It's so bad. Scroll down more. Scroll, because there's more down lower. Keep going. That's all about the appeal. Nobody cares about that. Violations. Wait, what does that say? Oh, yeah, right. Violations related to the non-meritorious appeal. Okay, so that was the last one. So yeah, all the good stuff was what we kind of covered. I love this for him. Oh, and then there's exhibits.
Yeah, I was going to see if there were any.
Some of the exhibits. Go to the one that has the big red warning on it. Show them just how terrible this was about the judge that he put on his blog.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
If you're an attorney, Don't do this. This is what not to do. In fact, they should teach this in law school.
Look at that.
About what lawyers cannot do. Look at this public warning. Judge Julie A. Mata. Warning, warning. Oh my God.
Do you have a family law case in Maricopa County Superior Court? Is your case currently assigned to Judge Julianne Mata? If so, please read this extremely important message. I mean, this is so bad.
He's trying to ruin her reputation in her where she works. You cannot do this as a lawyer. This is the dumbest thing that you can do. And he's going to claim free speech. You can't. It's literally in the agreement you sign when you become a lawyer and you join the bar. You cannot make disparaging comments about judges. You can't do it. You're not supposed to do it. And if you do it, they can discipline you.
See, that's what amazes me with some of these folks. Again, you and I, we're under no obligation.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. I can say whatever I want about any judge I want to.
But you noted
Randy Shockett. You didn't see Randy Shockett talking about Judge DeThomas anywhere publicly, did you?
Even with the DUI guy, you look at criticism, right? He, when his criticism has been not a judge, he hasn't sounded off on that period. He sounded off on what his expectations of what would happen in something, but.
Well, he did have criticism about
but
Judge
not like when
DeThomas.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the difference. It doesn't mean David Jingris cannot make disparaging comments about any judge.
Well, with DeThomas too.
He could. Let's say Jingris could have commented on Judge Beverly Canone, for instance. She's in a different state. He doesn't practice under Judge Beverly Canone. He could pretty much say, give his opinion on if he thinks she sucks or whatever. He could say that. But you run a very big risk as an attorney when you start disparaging a judge that you are in their jurisdiction. You are practicing in front of them in their court. You can't do that without consequences.
Like you notice he didn't, like when he's talking about a case, like the thing he was involved with, his thumbnail case, for example, he was very careful about what he said with that. Very, very little was stated about that, and the same thing with the ongoing case, which, God, look at the speed at which it drags its feet, I mean, that stuff is right. Good Lord, that's weird. I'm looking at Temu while we're talking.
Oh, God.
I thought about when we talked about this, I thought about Jeff, and it's like, Temu. So
we got to do the Temu order. We got to do that. The Temu.
But what's weird is
shopping spree.
I pulled it up, and the first random thing that came up was, the show Dexter. His blood slides. They have a Lego blood slides.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome,
fun.
to be honest. Yeah, I like it. I thought, man, who needs that? This guy. But unfortunately, if I get it, I'll be like, I can't build that. I'm too lazy.
Yeah, this is an important distinction, though. Like a lawyer can make fair criticism of a judge. You can talk about opinions about their rulings or their competence or whatever, but you can't knowingly say false things. You can't allege corruption without evidence, which is exactly what he did. And you can't make allegations about their integrity that the bar would consider reckless. That's what the rules say. So you can criticize a judge. You can do that, but you can't do what he did. He did that.
That blows my mind, by the way. Like she was like, remember he was like, okay, well, I want to know about the appointment. I want to be there. I want to see this thing for real. And remember the bullshit that she pulled with the, I don't want him to see where I'm going or know who the doctor is or this or that, which is total bullshit too. I mean,
you were ordered to turn those things over.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in Larry's case, when Larry was giving criticism of Judge Grudge, by the way, and he was pointing out corruption, he was backed up by the appellate court.
He was right.
If you are correct and you have evidence of that corruption, you can say it. If a judge is corrupt and you see the evidence in front of you, which we did in the DeThomas's case, you may say it. What you cannot do is what David Jingris did, which was make up a story that did not happen and claim that that this judge is corrupt based on rumors in a courthouse one day that he just twisted to suit his narrative.
And he went even further than that. He didn't just go with that. He was also, just the way he brought it up, look at me, daddy, that whole thing. Oh my God. When I read that the first time, I was like, somebody's punking me. This is not real. There is no fucking way this dude wrote that.
That's basically what Ian's response was. He was just dying. He was like, how is this real? Oh my God. Oh my God.
I admit I'm very proud of him for filing some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. But, I at the same time, I'm like, how? Why? Why would you find this? Oh my God. I'm looking at the stuff here. Oh yeah, that's this whole order.
I love that his blog posts ended up in the exhibits.
Oh God, they were so crazy.
I wish that the one that he said about us, about dancing on our graves and throwing our obituaries in the trash, I wish that had made it in. That was one of my favorites.
Here's the judge committing a crime statement, by the way. Let's see. The notice of appeal. Annoyingly, but not surprisingly, Modest screwed up the form of final judgment. It doesn't contain stuff required by the rules. Shocker. Oh my God. He just comes across as like a really annoying douchebag.
Oh, he's such an asshole. He is such an asshole.
Guess what Laura's weight was on November 14th? It's right there in the records. So you can
Which you were precluded from posting. Which
I remember when he
ordered
put
not
that
to
up.
post. Yeah.
Because it blew my mind when he did that. Hey, before you jump, can you hold this down for
sure. Yeah. Guys, definitely tune in to Love Trapped on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. You got to get caught up on this case. I'm telling you. This is the best time to get caught up because this thing is screaming on the tracks running towards a trial. Laura Owens will be going to trial in July for her many crimes, 14 felonies. And you want to get caught up on the details, and the best way to do it is to listen to Love Trapped. There are 3 episodes out currently, and I'm going to be in it. I don't know when my debut episode is, but it's coming soon because Dave Neal has just entered the picture in episode 3, and I come after Dave Neal. And I was interviewed at least 3 times, 4 times, a lot of times for this. I spent a lot of time doing interviews, and it's a great story. It's an absolutely great story. You're asking me to drop the link? Okay, hold on.
Oh my God, dude. So today I got to tell you this real quick.
Okay.
Today we put out, we've been having the mice issue, like to get rid of them, and we put out a glue trap, and because we were having problems catching them in the other traps, the humane traps, they don't work half the time. So we're like, screw them. They're, it's just a mess. So we put out a glue trap, and anyway, catch a mouse, and it catches it partially in, but its body's out, its head's out totally. So like, oh God, I'm gonna have to deal with this. So the little one noticed it, and she's like, oh, I was like, yeah, I'll go get it. I'll go and I'm gonna go and release it. I'm gonna quote unquote release it. You can't, but
right.
She's like, oh, I want to watch. I'm like, no, watch
oh
this.
no.
Yeah, she keeps doing this, and my oldest, she walks out, and she's like, be quiet. He's gonna release it to heaven. Don't you know? I was like, oh,
well, that's a good way to put it.
I'm gonna release it to heaven.
To heaven.
Yeah, it makes it
I'm
going
to
to
send it off to heaven.
I'm going to release it to heaven. I was like, oh my God, all smart aleck. He's going to release it to heaven.
Oh my God, that's
Stop
funny.
trying to watch that.
I love it.
Yep. Yeah. Because she's like, why are you, if you're going to release it, like, why are you, looking around? I'm looking for something to be humane about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's a terrible way Like I hate glue traps. They're my last resort. I don't like them because they're so awful, and
I hate glue traps. They're so bad.
Yeah, but we've dealt with them for weeks, and I'm like, man, I think the mouse population is going up. I don't think it's going down. I think it's fucking going up.
Well, yeah, they're always breeding.
Yep. So I was like, man, I'll use whatever. And I don't want to resort to using something like Havoc, poison. I don't like putting poison out unless I have to.
Yeah.
So, with that, but it was just her reaction. I want to see it released. I was like, oh God, how am I going to deal with this? Why not, Dad? Why can't I see it, Dad?
I told you once we got a snake caught in a glue trap.
We've had that.
And it was just a little baby snake. I felt so bad.
Yeah, because
I don't like glue traps at all, but sometimes there's just nothing else you can do. We generally we saw this thing online once that was like a bucket of water, and you put sunflower seeds over the top, so they float, and it looks like a floor or whatever. And then you put like a little plank, almost like they're walking the plank over the bucket, and they will. And I don't know how the plank works, but it tips them in there. Like so, or it's the lid. That's right. The lid tips down. So when they go on the top of the bucket, they creep out to the middle to like get the food, what they see, the sunflower seeds, and they fall into the bucket of water, and then they just drown. It does work. It seems a little more humane than except that mice also will swim and swim and swim until they just exhaust themselves. And then that's awful too. It's just, there's no good way.
If I can, if I can humanely deal with them, I'll bust them out.
Well,
of
the
house,
snap traps are the best.
Yeah,
they kill them quickly.
We've used, like I said, after you exhaust it, sooner or later you're like, well, what's my issue here? Mice. Let's get rid of them.
My dad had something. So my dad lives in Arizona. My parents live in Scottsdale, and they have something there called roof rats. These are, I guess they're like desert specific. I don't know, but they climb up your house and they go into the attic space somehow. They're really smart, and they can get in through the vents and whatever. And then they'll build their nests up there. Well, my dad had to pay a guy to come get rid of them. And they are so smart that it takes multiple times for the guys to come out and do what they do. And they have to, here's what they do. This is so crazy. They use rat traps that are like the snappy kind with food on them, and they bait them. And they also put cameras up, and then they watch. The rats are so smart. They send their babies to the traps first. So when they first put them down, they don't actually set them. They just put the food on them. So the babies will get sent out as sacrificial lambs by the rat parents.
Oh, yeah.
And the babies will go and they'll get the peanut butter or whatever. And the parents will watch and see that nothing happens to them. So the next time they go back up there and they'll set the traps, then the adults will go, and so will the babies because they're too stupid. But I mean, isn't that nuts? That's how smart they are. They send their kids out to test them.
Yeah. I've got a raider coming in. Hey, girl, what you doing? You grab me a water real quick? Thank you.
Yeah.
You bring me a water. Thank you, kiddo. You've been very helpful today, cleaning and doing everything. Thank you. Give me my hug and kiss, and then you go back upstairs. Love you. You gonna get you some rest? You look tired. Go get you some sleep, man. Get you some good sleep. It's dark and quiet.
Every time when I try to sleep, I always hear the rat moving.
Oh, you hear the rat moving? Yeah, well, we're knocking them out,
Yeah. One by one.
One by one.
We got them before, but the more trash, the more that they don't get bothered.
I know. We'll get them all, though. All right, we'll go get you some rest, though, okay? I love you.
Yeah, I hope the rat doesn't do it again.
It's not going to bother you, for sure. Love you. Hey, close that door for me, too, okay?
Love you, too, and I will.
Okay.
You also like noises more than the mouse.
Yeah, I hear the mouse move sometimes. I do too. Yeah, but it's not going to bother you. Love you. Close that door for me. Yeah.
I love you.
Okay, I love you too.
By the way, before I get going, Joanna sent $5 on Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. She says, check your Twitter DM. Okay, I didn't do that. I'll go check.
Her her sister told her all this crazy stuff about, yeah, if you bang your toes off the bed, the mice will know. And I'm like, don't tell her that. They wouldn't do that. You know? Oh my God. I was like, are you kidding me? She did all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, as a sibling, you know how siblings are. They mess with each other all the time. They're funny to listen to, you know. Cause
Yeah.
Oh Lord. But anyway, all right. I am going to hit super chats. Are you out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna run. You guys have a great rest of your evening.
Yep. Have a good one. Tomorrow, remember when everything pops off too. Remember this, like Megan is off, so everything will get really interesting.
It's totally
tomorrow.
gonna get interesting because I'm not here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yep. Wait for it.
Wait for it indeed. All right, let's hit some supers there. Max, thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate you kicking it off there. Appreciate you too, my friend. Thank you. Joan, thanks for the 20 there. For Jeremy's birthday, March 30th. Wow, so it's rolling up on his birthday. That's cool. We'll around then, I'm sure they'll have something, but we'll bust out. Remind me everybody that's then, and we'll bust out some birthday cello that day too. And thank you for reminding me. I'll mark it myself, but I'm my memory, so I'm hoping. But thank you and happy birthday, pre-birthday, happy pre-birthday, Ralph. What's up? Thanks for the 11, almost 1 year there. Thank you, Ralph. That is amazing. Again, that's huge too, and much appreciate that. 1 year almost. That's crazy. It's crazy how long this stuff goes on, isn't it? Lady Thurston, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. I appreciate those too. Tizzy, by the way, Tizzy dropped a new video. I thought that looked really good. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the name of it. If you have not checked it out, by the way, it was a good breakdown. I watched it earlier today. It's called, I wanted to get the title right. It's called The Lies That Broke the Bankruptcy's Back. And it's pretty good. I thought that there would be something like worth going over and actually, breaking down and talking about. It's about a 20-minute video. I'm going to let it get circulation first before I do that. But definitely, actually, let me link to it real fast before I do anything. Give me a second. I'm going to drop a link in there because I do want to. I'm glad you popped up, Tizzy, because I watched that today. It's funny. I was supposed to be watching that the Fats video, and I was like, like their video is so awful. It's like, man, I need to watch something else. And I saw this posted over on Facebook. It was really good. I appreciated that. I thought it was really good. Give me a second here. I'm gonna link it at the top. I'm pinning it. Go over and check that video out. Mark it if nothing else. If you haven't followed Tizzy, make sure you do. And thank you for the 10 gift dose too, Tizzy. Appreciate you. Chance, thanks for the 20 there. I had to go to court as a defendant and dress professionally. Yes, I got directed to the line for lawyers to go through the metal detector because if I was a lawyer, I won the case. Yeah, I had that instance. Even like I had long hair, but I would tuck my hair, and it was amazing to me. I put on a dress casual shirt with a jacket. Like with a dress jacket, and they looked together. It looked more than just dress casual, but it was still not perfect attire there. And that's when I went up to the courthouse here, the staff was like, hey, lawyers, they can circumvent this, they can do that. And I was like, I'm not a lawyer, but it was amazing to see because when I looked at a lot of the other people that would show up, I understood why. Number one, they thought you were a lawyer there just for dress casual. And number two, why a lot of people lose. Because they come in, they don't, everything about you should take the court seriously. It can't. I mean, I know there are the rare instances where they just can't. But most people have something that at least looks nice. I mean, I would see people that would not have brushed their hair, or they look like just absolute garbage, and there was no reason for it. They just didn't care. And when they were convicted of something, they seemed shocked and surprised. It was like, wow, the court, they would ask people, what are you doing to, change certain behavior? And you could just look at certain people and you could be like, they're not doing anything, they're absolutely doing nothing. So when they would bring up things, you'd be like, yeah, that person, they're doing more of the same. They're still, you could tell that person's still on the substance abuse issues or whatever. So yeah, I agree. McDev, thanks for the 10. If they do order jail time and they don't report to jail, can there be a bounty hunter pick them up? No, what would typically happen is they just put a warrant out. And I mean, could there theoretically be? I don't know, man, maybe. I've never really looked into, because a bounty hunter is typically, you're talking about you're talking about money that is secured through an agency, like an outside agency of the court. Those aren't really court enforcement, So I don't think they've taken out any money to secure bond or anything like that. So I don't think there's an issue where a bounty hunter can come into that. Typically what you see with bounty hunters is somebody, again, you think about with a bail bonding company, they put up X amount of money, right? You put up like 10% of something and they put up X amount of money. And after that, if you don't show up, they're going to lose a lot of that money. Woo, man. I mean, that's where it gets, that's where some of there's some good books on some of that stuff. Let me see. Give me a minute. There's one second. I'm trying to think of there was a show about, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Just give me a second. BMF. So the BMF show that came on, the Black Mafia family, that came on Stars. That's based on some real people. And there was one person in there in the book talking about all of that was just wild with them jumping bail and the amount of money. The amount of money was business crushing. So a bounty hunter's brought in. It's just amazing. Also, there's something I didn't know. So if you know anything about watches, there's a specific watchmaker out there with BMF. I believe it's Jacob, BMF, Jacob and Company. So with Jacob and Company, they design like millions of dollars watches. Now, I'm not saying they're worth that, but they sell them for that. And this is one of the most interesting things about that whole BMF thing. I don't know if this will pop up in the show or not, but those big bling watches. Well, they end up getting a bunch of jewelry confiscated, and they come up with a plan where Jacob, again, Jacob the jeweler with Jacob and Company, they come up with this scheme to try to get like $6 or $7 million worth of jewelry back, and the feds catch them. They catch them in their lies, and this jeweler ends up going to prison because of his lies to the Fed. And I was like, man, I have never heard of a jeweler that has been sentenced to the book on that. The show, it takes many liberties, but the book on it is wild. Let me see. I can't remember if it's just called BM. Yeah, it's just called BMF. You can look it up. You can find it on audiobook as well. It is one heck of a freaking read. But that you mentioning bounty hunters, the craziest bounty hunter stuff I've ever read is up in there. Fallen Hero, thanks for the 2. Listening while paying y'all. Pokemon, Pokepedia. Yeah, I figure the oldest will. Well, she loves freaking games on that. I've not picked anything up on it yet, but Jack Miles, thanks for 17 months. How much trouble is Beecham in? Well, I mean, you open yourself up for litigation. You open yourself up for all kinds of stuff. You got to wonder. It's not just that he opened himself up for litigation, but he opened up Levy County, because how insane is it to have somebody, again, they won't enforce an out-of-state order. They even questioned it, but they'll go testify in an out-of-state court. That's bizarre, isn't it? So how much? Well, we'll see. We'll see. But it is crazy. I've never heard anything like that. Don, thanks for the 2. Tell Jeremy I'm going to join his channel now. I will definitely mark that. And he definitely supporting the channel. It's definitely helpful. I mean, his channel, God, if anybody who's watched this knows they've been under siege for a while. So for sure. Tomorrow will be a crazy day. I will be, when they drop the video, I'm going to review it. I want to see it. So tomorrow we will definitely be playing video. If it's long, I guess we'll be in for a good. I've been curious about this for a while, so I'm ready for it. Deborah, thank you for that membership there. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership, and welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you very much, dude. Deborah, appreciate you. Ian, hey, what's up, Ian? Thanks for the 2 for your office icebox. Oh, indeed. By the way, this is crazy. So I got my power bill for last month. It's the highest power bill I've ever had. The TVA here, Tennessee Valley Authority, they have done some craziness. In the last year, I've never seen power bill costs like we have seen in the last year. Even when ice was on the ground and we couldn't go anywhere, it was lower. We had a $421. I mean, maybe some people get ones like that, but typically we're talking about 280 maybe at its high point. And all of a sudden, bam, they started, and everybody in these regions is just throwing shit fits. It's funny, our power company, the local area, they remodeled all their building and stuff, and it looks like they passed on the cost to everyone else. Man. William, hey, the reason I said with the ice box, I was thinking power. I was like, power. William, thanks for the 5. Just to make you say gang again. Keep it alive. Oh, I am mentally projecting a finger. Is it the thumbs up or is it another one? I'm just playing. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Andre, thanks for the 13 months. Just to say hi, Tuck. Hope you and the girls are doing well today. We are. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I've been very active today. In fact, very, very active. I sit down with, it's funny, I sit down with AI because, again, I've gone over the medical stuff, so I'm not going to belabor that point. But I asked it what I could do to, what a neurologist would do is exercises that help you, get rid of buzzing in your ears, of course, to minimize that. And to also, like, neurologically, like if you see a neurological specialist, like what exercises they would recommend after this stuff. And funny enough, got quite a few of them. I was looking them up and I was like, man, these are the exact same things they would recommend to you. So good times, fun times. Bradley, thanks for the 2 there. Appreciate that. Happy birthday to Tammy. That's right. Happy birthday from all of us to you. Maybe I'll even put up a picture. Let's give her the short arms, Happy birthday from all of us to you. And even though the super chat has your name on it, Tammy will never give it over to you. That's right. Love it. Thank you. Appreciate you there. Ian, thanks for the 2 there. Hey, for the ice to go in the office party ice box. Indeed. Got to be able to party it up. Got to have ice or ice trays. That's right. Thank you. Christine, thanks for the 2. Hail to the king and queen. I know. It's amazing. We are the king and the queen. It was funny when they were like, oh, well, you're the king and the queen of BS, or at least understudies. Love it. Andre, thanks for the 5. Pay my lurker tax and extra for the girls to get candy, chocolate, or ice cream. Well, thank you, my friend. You know, right now I think we're rolling into ice cream territory. It sounds fun. All right, Rhea Wright, thanks, dude. Happy birthday. There you go, Tammy, and everyone of the Fats. I know, man. The Fats, gosh, they need another celebration, don't they? Happy birthday, even though you suck. No. I hate those people. Oh, that's not a legend. Spirit Walker, look at this too. Happy birthday to Tammy as well. Oh man, everybody loving Tammy since she watches all her shows. I love it. Sticky, what's up, Sticky? Thanks for the fun there. I'm signing up for a tug right along. The activities sound amazing. I totally want to do pew pews, frog leather gathering, and other redneck stuff. Oh yeah, man. I think you'd have fun. I've got my stepfather who passed away left me an old Bronco, and it's just sitting out here. I need to get it. I keep it. I've told people are like, man, that thing just, it's old, get rid of it. I'm like, nah, I'm making a planter before I ever get rid of that thing. It will become a planter. I will put flowers in the damn thing, but we need to get it like going and then go off road. I know a good spot. We can go into the middle of the nothing, man. Snakes out there. God, snakes out there that would just crazy the whole time you're out there too. Like you're cutting through the property. They're minimum cows, which always come with at least a bull. So you got to watch for them all the time because that bull doesn't like you anywhere near. There's everything from potentially wild freaking pigs to, which are not fun. You run into a boar, that ain't fun. You can have a lot of fun though. We could have a great day. We could gig frogs though. I haven't been frog gigging in forever. That is some redneck stuff, by the way, but it's fun. Here and after. Thanks for the two. Happy birthday, Tammy. That's right. Happy birthday to you, Tammy. And Debbie. What's up, Debbie? Thanks for the two. My first super chat ever. Oh, man, look at this. It's so amazing and touching. Your first super chat's to wish. Happy birthday to Tammy. That's right. I love it. Thank you. That's the perfect way to spend it. Oh, beautiful. Ted Tracy, thanks for the 20 there. For cream cheese and cucumbers, for the breadsticks, for the king and the queen. That's right, man. You got to have fancy breadsticks if you're going to have them. I mean, when you get moved to that certain level. Indeed. Thank you. William, thanks for well, with your new PI friend, you take to barbecue, you're still relevant. But who's Megan? It's kind of like who's George. That's funny. Yeah, I still haven't gotten like that knock. I offered again. I offered to take if there is a PI, I offered to take him somewhere. But of course, no response. No answer publicly or privately or in real life. Like I said, I extended the invite. I made a real one, a legit invite. They can knock on the door, I'll talk to them. We can plan out something and it'll be fun times. It'll also, it'll also be a really interesting thing to find out again. If somebody really is that butthurt because somebody they ask for a solid and the person, they did about 98% of it. But I guess that's how when you deal with I always love when you run across people who think you're their subordinate, You run into entitled people like that. People who think that maybe they can buy you 100 times over as far as your net worth, but who gives a shit, That doesn't make you an amazing person or anyone anybody has to listen to. Maybe that makes them crazy. Blake, thanks for the 9 months. Ooh, look at the baby. 9 months, baby time. I love it. I love that. It's funny. Fun times indeed, Barris. I like it. 9 months. We gave birth to an amazing membership. I love that. Thank you. Having funsies. That's a great name. Thanks to do. Happy birthday, Tammy. You won't get any of this. Indeed. Indeed. We'll make you an cake, AI. It'll have money. Oh man, that would be amazing. I have an idea for something real fast. Let's make it real quick while we're talking here. What we need is a wonderful image that really encapsulates all of this. So what I need is I want an image of this figure carrying a birthday cake for Timmy with bulging from his pockets. Shirt. Keeping her presence. Just give me a second. I'll show you something funny in a minute. I'm making stuff while we're talking. All right. I can't see that. There we go. Hey, Lee, thanks for the 14 months. Owens' case is so weird, and Clayton had to suffer for it. Indeed. In the courts, there should be something where you can't take somebody to court for paternity over a child that you can't prove exists. That should not ever be the way court can be handled. And most courts probably never thought of a pregnancy faker, but hey, here we are, right? Here we are. Mish, thanks for the month there. Appreciate that. Thank you for your membership here. There's not a statement, but that indeed is a statement. A great one. Thank you. AKA the cat lady. Thanks for the 20 months there. Thank you. 20 months. There's also a new contract that Laura wrote up for herself at Clayton, except this is a pregnancy contract where she offers $100K, if not his twin. Wow, that would be amazing. He should get that $100K, baby. What a nut. What an absolute nut. Suzanne, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you very much to Suzanne. It's great to see you yet again. I love seeing the familiars. So many of you out here. Love it. I love that. Thank you. Dare, thanks for the 23 months. Did you see my PayPal? An email that explained what happened? Yeah. You know what? It's all good, baby. It is all good. It all works out. And you know what? I'm glad that we could do something for you, and in handling, again, I want to note this, Ray, Ray that we all know and love. Ray has been helping out when he didn't have to in any way. He hasn't had to do anything, but he has. And I cannot say how much that's appreciated. If you hire Ray to help you, like build a website or something, you can go in and get some cheap crap thing, and you could probably get something crappy for cheap, but you pay for that in the long run. With Ray, I feel like when you pick him up, and I've heard this from many people, you pick up a person that doesn't just help you, they become almost like friend or maybe even family. So it's amazing. But yeah, appreciate you there. Quinky Dink, thanks for the 5. Is Requiem your favorite RE game? I love 3, but this one's really good. I like it a lot. Now, my favorite game, the original RE2, when it came up, it's just, that just blew my mind. Like back in the day, oh my God, because that was a game changer. The original 3 that came up after, I loved that game. And 4 and the 4 remake. God, I love playing those. I love running and gunning through 4. That game is just nonstop fun. And now I did like with this new one, it's a lot of fun. It strikes the balance between stuff that, that horror element and bare bonesing running through with just pure, like shoot 'em up and having fun. And I thought it did great. The numbers that are coming up too, the numbers in sales, they really speak. So as far as Resident Evil 4 is concerned, like think about this. So the Resident Evil, when they relaunch 7 Biohazard, when Biohazard comes out, it sells 5 million copies, but takes 437 days. Okay. Resident Evil 8, The Village, when it pops off, it has 5 million sales, but it takes 174 days. So you can see it getting shorter. this new Resident Evil Requiem, it hits 5 million sales in 5 days. That's crazy, but it is a fun game. I like it. It's got stupid, like, when you have your first run in with the action area with zombies, one of them pops in with a chainsaw, and like you're taking out the zombies and they drop the chainsaw and it's spinning on the floor and it can still hit you and stuff, and it comically comes after you if you run away from it. Then you pick it up and you can fight with it. Oh my God, I love that. It was good. I love that game. I love it. But is it my favorite? My favorite RE game, I'm not, replayability wise, I think RE4 remake, the kids and myself have played, they just like, the oldest runs around in it. I noticed that on my account, they've logged in, like I've logged some of it, but there's like 250 hours just on that device, and it doesn't count all the originals. And, oh Lord, but 2 probably would still be, just because it's stuck in my mind nostalgically. Now, replayability, I think this game's got some good replayability. I like it. I've gone in. I like cutting off that very beginning. It doesn't take very long to. You can go through, like, run it real fast, and then I'm starting my hardest run through. So, Lethal Lore. What's up, Lauren? By the way, it's good to see you. Thanks for the 2. I'm number 1 in David's heart. Suck it, y'all. Indeed. I mean, he loves to hate you. It's amazing. Suzanne, thanks for the 5. Megan and Todd, possibly many folks here don't know you actually communicated directly with Gingy via email, not just in your streams. That would be Megan communicated. I did not communicate directly with him. I never did. So she reached out because he was in the false flagging mess back in the day too. All of my communication, she's brought her private communications public, to make sure. But all of my communication I've ever had with him, I've made sure they've just been public. He's never, that I know of, he's never reached out for me. So, but for Megan, oh yeah. Yeah. That was some crazy times too. Travis, thanks for the 29 months, my friend. Appreciate you there. Glad you're on tonight, Tuck. Been drinking beer, enjoying your podcast, riding practice bulls, wore out. Love everyone. Did find a buddy that will film the great. That'll be awesome. You be careful, man. Have fun. I know. I know, careful sometimes. We're getting old, brother. Getting old. So you be careful. Have fun. I do want to see that. It'd be awesome. Suzanne, thanks for the 5. Megan, when you say yourself, do you need a loofah to do that? Oh no. Oh, go. Yeah, the F yourself. Do you need a loofah to do that? Gross. I know certain people that would probably donate a loofah. Gross. Travis, thanks for 5. Holy shit. Here's for Bug. Actually cleaning. Yeah, damn miracles do happen. I know. She's been on a helpful cleaning spree. She's been helping out. It's funny. My mom was like, hey, you want to help me clean up some cabinets at my house? I'll give you a little bit of money for it. And remember, she's just 6. And the little one said, oh, Gigi, you don't have to give me money. I'll just help you. And I was like, oh, man, I'm proud of that. That's very nice. Travis, thanks for the 2. Maybe when I turn 41, I'll ride the miracles. Man. My bones would scream. I'd be like, no. So again, good luck to you, brother. Just be careful. Sassy, thanks for the 2. A mouse did bite my toe 10 years ago. It does happen. Yeah, they can freak out or bite you, or they could be hungry and maybe take a nibble. But for her, like, just the way her sister was like, oh, I'll chew off your toe and stuff. It was amazing. I was like, oh my God. Angela, thanks for 5. Tug, you've been getting an electric mousetrap from Amazon about 10 days. I use it. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'll check that out. That sounds, I've never seen one. I've never seen one. So that'll be cool to check out. Kim, thanks for the 2 there. Tammy, happy freaking birthday. You're not special. I know. Oh, man. It's like, when life put those candles on the cake, it sure didn't want to. I mean, these people, it does amaze me. Like with the fats again, they're like, okay, you can co-host, you get nothing from it. You get nothing. You have to spend all of your time like reviewing other people's strength. Wow, what fun. And they will turn on you eventually. Because look at the last people. You know, it keeps happening. It's amazing. And when it happens, I'm gonna laugh a lot. Travis, thanks for 5. My birthday's 10 days. And if shit goes wrong on the ride, my old ass ends up in the hospital. At least give me a happy, happy birthday on the 15th. Man, I will do my damnedest to remember that, Travis. You know, like I said, my memory is spotchy where I've been having this stuff. And I will try to remember, you know, but you be careful, like I said, as much as humanly possible. And Travis thinks with you, bro, if I live, I die, don't bother me. Well, you know what? I kind of get attached to people that I know, even in, like I said, I've gotten to watch you talk about a change in your life through all types of positives, you know. You talked about all of this stuff. And again, we get to see that day-to-day progression because you've been around forever. And it's great to watch. You know, it's great to watch a human being succeed in life and, you know, change. Because we see so many instances of that not. So I've become particular to the breathing portion, you know, with yourself. So watch out for yourself. Jack's mom also, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Jack's mom. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you as always. I appreciate so much. What? This Codex. What in the world? Oh, by the way, too, this is funny. So, you know, I use ChatGPT because despite there are other better, I think Grok is better as an AI, but ChatGPT makes better thumbnails and better pictures, just to be honest. So I've been picking it up, but they're apparently desperate for people to pay. So if you pay month to month, let a month flag off, and they will offer you half price. I think it's 48% off for like 4 months, which is amazing. You know, they offer you half price. That's pretty good. You know, it's what we use for all of our goofing off here too. So anyway, I'm caught up. I don't know who's alive. I went on way too long tonight. Tomorrow we will be hitting those filings. So be here. Appreciate you all, and we will see you.